Good morning, Metru Nui! Welcome back to another episode of the Barraki Talk Show. We're your hosts, the Mielik brothers,
Jacob,
Samuel,
Thomas, and we're glad you're joining us today as we talk our way through the weird and wondrous world of Bionicle. But first, coming up on the Barraki Talk Show. I would not want Bionicle without Akmu.
and for the new Jew lovers out there, we would like to defend ourselves.
Get wrecked. Sisyphus is rolling the boulder up and Pohatu just kicks it. All that and more coming up on the Barraki Talk Show.
Metru Nui was Bionicle's big step into a wider universe, laying the foundations for many core concepts that the franchise has become known for. But how much do these concepts actually contribute to the story, and would Bionicle actually be better off without some of them?
Bum.
Dun dun. Also, we'd like to shout out here now that it is Thanksgiving, so
Here in Lithuania.
On the east coast of
Lithuania, it is Thanksgiving. So make sure to go give some thanks to all the stuff.
In fact, we also encourage you to have Thanksgiving outside on the beach on the east coast of Lithuania.
Right.
It's a very great place to try to eat a turkey.
Where it is currently summer.
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's summer in Lithuania.
Eastern and Western hemispheres are not the same as North and South.
What? Okay, whatever.
Anyway.
Well, yeah. This episode's going to be a little bit different than our last recap episode.
Correct.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Because we're trying something new. Well, it's actually something old, but something new for us.
We're laying
not
new
really.
foundations on top of really old foundations. It's genius. Okay, what we're doing here is we're ranking each character, concept, and faction in the story in terms of how much it brings to the story. And nothing is safe or sacred. Well,
most
in
things
this
are not.
concept, they're sacred. You know what I mean.
Except Hafu, obviously.
The Great Temple, obviously. Anyway, but the tiers that we will be... That's all, folks. I don't know what is going on with me. Here are the tiers. The first and most powerful tier, the S tier, is irrevocable. It's something about Bionicle that is intrinsically linked with the franchise. You're like, I would not get rid of that for pretty much anything, right?
If you did, it wouldn't be the same. The story would not be the same anymore. It wouldn't be Bionicle anymore.
Yeah. It'd be like a weird alternate version of Bionicle.
Yeah.
The next tier is very cool. These are things that add to the story a lot. They contribute. You're like, heck yeah, I love that. And you go away thinking about them occasionally. The next tier is pleasant. These are like, oh yeah, it's fun to encounter this, but then it kind of wanes out of your memory, but you can sometimes recall it. Meh is like, take it or leave it. It's a pretty self-explanatory tier. It doesn't add much. It doesn't really detract much. But then the fifth tier is detracts, which I don't have to explain this one to you guys, right? It detracts from the story. You're like,
wow.
If this was not here, the story would be better. So this is where Akmu
goes. You joke, and yet.
We'll see, won't we?
No, Akmu's not on this tier.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Bro, Akmu was in Metru Nui.
He's a Metru.
You're right.
Okay, so with that all being said, are we ready to rock and roll?
I've never been readier. Also, just to clarify about this has nothing to do with the sets or like depictions of these things. This is a concept.
Characters, concepts,
the depiction
and lore.
can come in a little because they look that way in lore.
Well, that's true, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like Kitangu will never go into detracts because he's too based and cool looking. That's my opinion. Kagoted. Okay, so first up on the list we have the Toa Metru. Just as a group first, then we'll go through them individually. So, where do we place the Toa Metru?
For me, very cool.
Very cool?
I think
If
so.
they weren't...
Sorry, what were
like
you
when you
gonna
think
say?
of Bionicle, do you think of the Toa Metru?
I think, yes, I do actually. It's kind of an unfair question because we've spent so much time with them now. That it's like, for me to separate them from the franchise at this point would feel unfair. Like, they are a very important part. Had you done this a couple years ago, I would have said, probably meh, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now, yeah, I would probably agree with Jacob. They definitely go into very cool. It's hard again to separate them from their events because there are things that happen during the Toa Metru's story that's really important.
You can think about it in terms of if they were replaced by a different team.
Mm-hmm. Would the story be better?
Oh, yeah. Better. Well, in that case, so yes, they would. I still think they can go into very cool. I would not put them in irrevocable.
I agree. Very cool.
Honestly, I was thinking irrevocable because of the iconography, but I'm like, if they were replaced by a different Toa team, either in personality or whatever, and they look the same, the iconography would be intact, but we might end up with a marginally better story. I'm not saying the Toa Metru are bad. I have gained a lot of respect for the Toa Metru, but not quite that much respect. So yeah, I'm cool with very cool.
We're going to make a lot of people angry with that one.
Isn't, just really quickly, isn't it pronounced irrevocable?
You know, it might be. I was wondering. I didn't know if it could be pronounced.
I think it's probably both. Like,
you're the pronunciation guy. Why don't you look it up?
Pronunciation wizard.
It does say that irrevocable is standard pronunciation and irrevocable is the sometimes. Kind of like applicable is the actual way to say it, but most people say applicable.
The reason I named this tier is like, I wouldn't want to revoke it. I wouldn't want to take it out of Bionicle. So that's why I was thinking irrevocable.
Yeah, that's why I'm okay with the way we are pronouncing it, but just for...
But will our fans,
English
because they don't like the way we pronounce most other stuff.
It's irrevocable.
All right, next.
Next up, we have Vakama. And I'll actually say, I think he's top tier because the Toa Metru as a whole, I could see being replaced, but Vakama, like, the chilling moments I get in the books where he's just going full out, I'm like, that's cool. I don't want to replace that. His arc of, like, loser to god, back to loser, back to pretty cool, normal, correct levels of Vakama, I'm like, I like it.
Yeah, I'm just over here like nodding like a madman. I agree. And plus from just a purely iconic perspective, like his silhouette, his shape, his presence is like so iconic. I would argue to the level of Tahu, if not surpassing in some instances.
Surpassing would be
in some instances.
Take.
So I think Vakama is as iconic as Tahu.
I don't know if he's as iconic.
At least for the era.
I don't even know that. I don't know if Vakama's ever been as iconic as Tahu. Given I wasn't alive. I was alive. I didn't know what the heck was going on back then.
Technically, you weren't alive for the first wave of Tahu.
We're talking 2004, 2005.
I know, but you're saying like as iconic as Tahu. Like you're...
That's also true.
You know, like...
I guess I'm going from my experience of Tahu being iconic still now.
Yes.
To then.
That's what makes more sense.
I also like Vakama because he really kind of shows the unique style and way combat would take place in the rest of Bionicle, where it's much more tactical, much more fast-paced, and based around versatility rather than raw power, right? Because he's got the disc launcher, he's got the mask, he's got the elemental powers, and smart ways to use the elemental powers, which will shape how, especially the Toa and Nika, go about doing their combat. Like, it kind of lays the foundation of modern Bionicle combat, whereas the Mata are very mythical, like Onua uses his great strength to lift a boulder or whatever. It's much more fantastical, for lack of a better word. So I think Vakama is also cool for kind of embodying that. That's just my theory. So we put him in...
Put it in irrevocable.
Yeah, I'm throwing Vakama in irrevocable.
Yeah.
I don't want him out of the story. No comma.
I think hot take no comma goes into pleasant.
I'm kind of right there with you. No comma is fine. But like if she was replaced, would I actually even really notice? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think so.
I agree. I don't think there's anything that stands out for her. Like there's no, in my mind, there's no noticeable moments. Like, not noticeable, notable, right? Like there's nothing that's like, oh yeah, no comma, except for that time she got poisoned.
I was going to say the one notable thing is getting poisoned.
So
right?
It's like, I don't know. She's fine. She's a good enough character. She serves the purpose, but she's not over the top. She's not super memorable.
To me, she's just a less interesting Golly, which makes her she doesn't stand out in my mind at all.
The only reason I really think of her when I think of the Toa Metru is because she's on the cover of the 3rd book, and that's the one we had physically.
Yeah.
So I just looked, and it was my favorite because we had that in the 4th book, right?
Was that the Darkness Below?
Yeah, we had 2, 3, and 4, and 3 was my favorite, so I just looked at the cover a lot. But I think Pleasant. She doesn't leave an impact on me. I'm just like, no comment, really. Haven't used that one before.
Yeah.
But now
Matau.
Matau. Spicy.
I love Matau. Like, to me, if Matau was a different character, he wouldn't be as good. And I think in a lot of ways, he really is the heart of the Toa Metru.
Yeah, he's definitely
I think that he's a really good differentiation from Lua. Like they were like, okay, this is the kind of character we want to write, and you can see the similarities between Matau and Lua, but they wrote an entirely new take on that same sort of character for Matau, and it works. Like the cocky, very full of himself, but also quite competent. Is like he pulls it off, and Lua is much more fun-loving and goofy in a sense,
free-spirited.
Right? Yeah, free-spirited is a good way to do it. And it's like, wow, you guys really took that and were able to make an entirely distinct character, and I appreciate that. I would say
took an archetype and morphed it into a different, like, kind of sub version of that.
Same archetype, not a stereotype.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And I think that that's what is really well done.
Yeah. I agree. I think, but do we put him in very cool or irrevocable?
To me, because if our criteria is the story, in order for the story to be like as good as it can be with that character in it, to me, he's irrevocable. Because I can't imagine a better version of Matau. Right.
He is one of the best Airtoa we get as well. I'm fine with irrevocable, especially if you go Web of Shadows, because it's like Vakama,
He's really
Matau,
important.
like the two
that's
major.
where I was thinking.
So I'm fine with him as irrevocable because it would literally change the entire story.
Yeah.
So we have 2 in irrevocable. Surprise! The Toa Metru are getting really high tiers. I can't believe it, guys.
Detracts.
Okay, now we get to Nuju.
Nuju.
Now be warned, this is not Turaga Nuju. This is normal Nuju.
Yeah, true.
Nuju is just...
I can't even assign pleasant to him. That's not... It's not fair.
He's just worse Kopaka.
I know it's pleasant for him to be in the story is what you're saying. He's not pleasant, but nonetheless.
Especially in the first 2 books, he's grading. Like, I literally said, like, I stopped reading the book 3 times because of him. He's just... I hate him so much.
Here's the issue with Nuju. Whereas Matau takes the archetype and kind of like shifts and morphs it a little bit to make it its own thing, Nuju takes the Kopaka archetype, the established cold ice Toa archetype, and just brings it down, man. Like, he just like it takes someone who is like cold and withdrawn and makes him like actively opposed, like antisocial to the extreme, right?
Yeah.
And also makes him like super self-confident to the point of like arrogant, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't like Nuju.
And if he was different, I do believe the story would be at least more enjoyable to read.
I agree.
So are we putting him into tracks?
I think he goes into meh. Really.
Meh.
Like, I don't think he actively... Because there are some good moments.
Especially in the later books when
it's like you...
chilled out.
You can't...
No pun intended.
You can't just throw all of that out the window because of his abrasiveness early on in the series. So, I think he would go into meh.
Yeah. Okay. I can live with that.
I'm sorry, Kopaka fans.
Yeah.
But not
you
that
mean
sorry.
Kopaka? You mean Nuju fans?
Oh, I meant Nuju fans.
Kopaka fans are like, what did we do?
I can't even think about Nuju without thinking of Kopaka, who's just the better version of Nuju.
He's just better.
I mean, he is. Yeah, he just is.
And now we come to Onua or Onua. Both are totally cool ways to pronounce it.
I hated Onua to start. He really grew on me as we went through the story.
I also agree.
Like, massively so.
I think he cannot be put in pleasant tier because he's still not like a pleasant character, but I do think he does add a lot to the story, and especially in Voyage of Fear and Maze of Shadows.
Yeah.
He's one of the major characters that I'm like, I'm glad he's here. He's really contributing.
This is a really hot take, but I actually put him in very cool.
Yeah, I think very cool because I don't think he's irrevocable.
Well, I kind of think he is because they would have all been killed by the sea monster had it not been for
There's
Onua.
a lot of plot that revolves around Onua.
Remember when he takes over Wanua's mask or uses Wanua's powers
True.
to
They've all
launch them
saved
out?
each other, right?
I don't know. That's pretty.
But he also rescued Wanua from the water. He's also one of the main
He
drivers
also
of
took Matau out of the wall.
Yeah, he's one of the main drivers of conflict in the team as well, which is an important element.
Yeah, he makes
their
them
story.
better, right?
Yeah.
Like ultimately drives them to be better team.
If Onua wasn't there, it'd just be Nuju who's the main antagonistic force, and everyone would have just ignored him because he's much more easily ignored.
Right.
Whereas Onua has more of that charisma and intensity. Yeah, I
think he has to go into irrevocable.
You know what? I actually support that decision.
Yeah,
as well.
I think you convinced me. He's an irrevocable.
Wild.
If you'd asked me at the beginning, I would have said detracts so heavily.
100%.
Now we come to the Hortica as a whole. What do we think of the Toa Bean Hortica versions of themselves?
My initial instinct of this has to go into pleasant because as a concept, I love the Hortica.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's super interesting. As it's executed, it could be better. It could be better, and the story could, I think, overall be better had the Hortica arc been a little bit more thought out, fleshed out, and like really put love and thought into.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I think I just, for those reasons, I have to say pleasant.
I think for me, what it comes down to is the concept of the Hortica is a little bit weaker than the concept of the Metru.
Really?
But the execution, I think, is actually better done than the Metru. And so to me, I actually would put it in very cool. Because to me, they even out, right? Because I think the characters are more interesting. They're more fleshed out. They do more interesting things as Hortica. And I really like the world that's built around the Hortica. And they're kind of inextricable from that world, that kind of web of shadowsy, whatever. So to me, I actually think of them on par with the Metru.
I guess I would say the opposite, because the Metru are kind of like a standard Toa team, just in like a dystopian sort of environment, whereas the Hortica, like, they're half Rahi, right? So they have to come to terms with that nature, and that exacerbates their current personality traits, which I'm like, oh, that's cool. It forces the characters to change. It forces the story to go forward. I just think the execution was worse than with the Metru, because with the Metru, they had so many books, and the Hortica only had 2 real books where they were Hortica, right? So we get to see a lot more of the Metru, and they make use of that time. The characters do grow, they do change. So I think the execution of the Metru is better, the concept is weaker. I think the Hortica concept is better. The execution was just weak, and I think they do go into pleasant, because I'm like, I don't hate it. I like them a lot more than I went in initially, but I went in initially negatively biased.
Yeah.
Right? I would have put them in meh. But I'm like, I'm fine with their existence. If they were out of the story, I wouldn't really care that much, especially since 2005 doesn't really need to happen.
Yeah,
at all.
I think the only thing that absolutely comes out of the Hortica that's really important is Vakama's character arc.
And Makuta getting free.
Well, yeah, but in terms of the Toa team, the one thing that needs to happen is Vakama's whole swing, so that he comes out into Time Trap at his pinnacle, right? And it's like, so for that reason, I can't say that the Hortica as a whole, as a team, are irrevocable, because it could have been anything. It could have been done in any way to get Vakama to that point. And if you just remove the Hortica, it wouldn't be such a stretch to see how he gets to the point in Time Trap with a little bit of manipulation of the Metru story, right? So it's like, do you really need it then? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think they go in pleasant. What do you say, Jacob?
Yeah.
Good with that? Now, specific Hortica characters, Vakama Hortica. What do we think of him being evil?
I actually like it, and I hate how it's done in the movie, to be honest. Like,
the movie
because
version is stupid.
The problem, a lot of problems with Bionicle stem from time constraints, how fast they had to move through something. And Vakama's descent could have been so cool. Like, imagine, it's the same issue people had with Revenge of the Sith, that Anakin seems to flip the switch and now he's Darth Vader, right? And in this case, it's very similar, where you have Vakama who all of a sudden just like starts breaking. He just has all these problems and then he's evil, right? And it's like after 2 brief discussions with Rudaka, he's evil, right? And it's like that just feels way too fast based off of what we've seen prior to that. And the Clone Wars fills that in for Anakin, right? And you really get to see his whole character, everything he's been through. And I feel like, man, if we had gotten a whole book dedicated to Vakama wandering this webbed up Metru Nui, right? And maybe coming back to his team every once in a while, or them finding him or tracking him, whatever it may be. And you see this whole time where he gets to think and like really reflect on who he is, then that descent into the villain aspect would have been totally acceptable and cool, I think. Like, it would have been satisfying almost. But as it is, it's too short, and it just seems like a gimmick of the story almost, if that's such a thing. Right?
And like you said, there could have been so much more you could have done with it. It could have been emotionally devastating rather than like, okay, I guess that happened. Sure. Yeah. So where do we...
And sorry, going back to Star Wars, like you would think, okay, why would it be
we know Greg was aware of, and George Lucas was copying from Bionicle.
Yes, obviously.
George Lucas watching Vakama fall, he's like, I gotta get that in.
Like, I was gonna say, why would it be emotionally like satisfying, or just, how did you say it? Devastating is what you said.
Devastating.
Emotionally devastating. It's like, well, why would it be? Because we know that he has to end up being a good guy. Well, it's emotionally devastating when Anakin becomes Darth Vader, and we've already seen the conclusion to that story, right? Like, so it can still be emotionally devastating. They had that opportunity and just didn't take it.
Yeah,
so
I agree. So where are we throwing him? Meh? Tracks?
I don't think it's meh or I think probably meh, actually. Now that
what do you think, Jacob? Meh?
Meh.
Yeah.
Again, so the problem is that how he's done, the ultimate conclusion of his Hortika self is very good. Like, where he ends up at the end is really important.
The broad strokes of it, I think, are very good.
Yeah. It's the specifics and the timing. So with that in mind, I may revise my judgment there. I think it probably is pleasant or even very cool because of the importance of that, and how it plays out is fine. It's just, like I said, it's just weirdly paced.
I think pleasant makes the most sense, because if I go by the novelization as well, I'm like, I get it. I understand it a little more.
Yeah. And again, like we said with the whole Toa team, is that if you wanted him to get to the point he needs to be in Time Trap, he didn't ever have to be a Hortika, right? So it's like, for that also, I think that can factor into bringing him down.
Yeah. But now we move on to Nokama Hortika. I think she's actually better as a Hortika than as a Metru, because she gets a little more rage, right? Because she's used to being the peacekeeper, the peacemaker, but now she's like,
she has internal conflict.
Exactly. She's not so used to self-control.
Yeah.
It's easier to control Onua than oneself. Curious. Not much easier, but still. So I think she actually improved as a character, especially with Gaki there to like kind of walk her through some of the stuff. So I think she might go top of pleasant or very cool.
I also like that she gets to display some leadership ability as a Hortika.
Because when Vakama's gone, you're like,
walks away, the
only obvious choice for leader is Nokama.
And she does it very well.
Yeah.
You know, she really puts a lot of thought into
I mean, they found Kitangu under Nokama's leadership. So.
I think I would bump her up to very cool, because it makes logical sense.
Yeah.
And you're happy to see her get that role and whatever, because you're like, yeah, this is cool. This is how things should work. It makes for a cool and coherent story.
I agree.
So I think very cool.
I like it.
Now, Matau Hortika.
Again, I think based off of what we said earlier, he has to go into irrevocable. if we're trying to say that he's incredibly important to the way the story is already done.
Mm-hmm.
Again, considering what we've said about the Hortica, if you remove them entirely, then obviously he doesn't take that position.
Yeah.
But given where the story stands, I think you cannot take him out. And
he still remains the heart of the team, even as a Hortica. And he also, the other key thing about him is his like acceptance of the transformation is a huge part of getting everyone else to like accept the transformation in a lot of ways, at least in the movie.
Not really. What do you mean?
Like, well, because he's like, I'm so ugly, and then he like eventually learns to like appreciate his Hortica form eventually, you know, and that's part of, I think, again, that plays into him being the heart of the team.
Yeah. I agree. He definitely is the heart of the team, because like Matau and the rest of the team kind of shunned Nokama or Vakama, which helped turn him away. And when Matau apologizes, it's like on his own behalf and by proxy the rest of the team.
True, yeah.
As well. So I think he's definitely like the heart for that reason. Like he so clearly exemplifies what the others feel. But I don't know if it's irrevocable.
Yeah, I'm now thinking on it. I think that it should be probably very cool, because it doesn't have to happen. He doesn't need to be in his Hortica form or have any of the events of the Hortica happen, like of Matau Hortica happen, right? For the story to really change.
And even when I think of the story that we did get, like his speech of trying to redeem Vakama or whatever, like it was a fine speech. It was pretty cool at moments, but I'm like, it didn't emotionally grip me, right? I wasn't like, I could give it up. It wasn't irrevocable, right?
Yeah.
Like I can take it or leave it. So very cool or pleasant, are we thinking?
I would put him in very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm fine with very cool. And now we come to Nuju Hortica.
Nuju is somehow worse as a Hortica than he is as a Metru.
When he's going around with Poalis and just being a jerkwad to him, I can't have died, because that means I'm spending the afterlife with this gizmo head. Like, what a loser. I can hate Nuju, guys. I hate Nuju.
Actually, yeah, I don't think
and he doesn't do anything in the movie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I can't even remember a single thing that he does that impacts anything.
Yeah.
And just depressed.
Yeah, he's just more annoying Nuju, which is actually insanely impressive. So for
Nuju
that reason, he should go into very
has
cool.
a negative character arc where he just gets more and more obnoxious as time goes on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's true.
Because as a Turaga, he has reached his peak obnoxious form.
So are we putting him into tracks? Like, if he was a different character, it would be better.
Yeah, I
it would
agree.
Be better.
Yeah.
Dang. The Nuju slander goes
sorry,
hard.
not sorry, Nuju fans.
If you're a Nuju fan,
the problem
the
is
nearest psychiatrist.
He's not a foil. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what his real issue is.
Matau and Onua are foils.
Yeah.
Nuju's just a jerk.
Straight up a jerk that just, detracts. That's the best way to put it. It's,
Yeah. But now we come to Onua Hortica, who I think totally should have taken place. Should have been
Matau.
the team breaker. Yeah, should have taken the place of Matau. He should have been the one to break the team, because that's what it was all leading up to. So that when he finally reconciled with Vakama, that would be the putting behind of all past ties. He can see fairly, leading up to him being the fair judge and referee on Mad and Nui, and it would complete the arc that we've seen of him growing closer and more fond of the team.
Yeah.
So, but
which he still at the
does.
same time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We see those,
which he still does, but in a much
changes.
smaller way.
Yeah, it's just kind of shafted and has to be done off screen for the most part between Metru and Mad and Nui. But he does say the key to Nongu, and that's pretty hilarious. So
for that reason, irrevocable.
That
obviously.
line is irrevocable.
No, I do like Onua, and like,
as a Hortica, he tries to kill Pooks with a boulder.
he does. I don't remember.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about it. It's where Pooks is like, "You've got to wait, or you can't do that," and then he's like, "I'm gonna kill you,"
and then Pooks is like,
really
"Dang!"
funny.
We actually have a picture for that in the community section.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. So, where are we putting him? Pleasant.
I think he goes in pleasant.
Pleasant.
Because just for lack of screen time, story time,
whatever
I guess is the better word for
when
it.
he does do things, I like it. It adds to the story, but it could have been so much more.
And
Yeah.
I actually think that, like, if I had to guess, I would say that the original plan was essentially to have Onuma do what we were talking about doing. But since Lego decided to go for the heavy marketing with Mattel for the Hortica,
Green
him
and
being
red sell better.
the face of the Hortica, it's like they had to give him a more prominent role.
Yeah.
And it interestingly, it actually makes kind of a lot of sense in terms of their transition. Like, Mattel would be the most, what would you be?
was the most
disturbed with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, of course he's going to lash out at Vekama the most, because it's like, you took away one of the things that I'm most proud of, which is my looks, right? Like,
Well, and it also makes sense why Vekama would take it harder, because if Onua lashed out at him, he'd be like,
he would be like,
"Who
this
cares?"
is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it wouldn't hit him as deeply because he doesn't respect Onua at all or care about his friendship. Whereas with Matau, it's like coming from someone he considered a friend and who was on his side before. So
that's all the Toa, right?
yep, that's all the Toa, Metru, and Hortica.
Okay.
Now, we come on to Turaga. So, Turaga Duma. What do we... I don't know what to think
Well, okay,
of Duma.
let me
Are we
just
talking
say,
about Turaga Duma
or Makuta Duma?
as
This is
Turaga
Turaga Duma.
Well, we don't really know that much about Turaga.
Actually, we know quite a lot.
We know quite a bit.
I actually think he goes into maybe irrevocable, definitely very cool,
For sure,
because
very
he
cool.
is unlike literally anything else that we see in Bionicle,
Yeah.
and he is one of the parts that when I learn about him, I'm like, that is really
And
cool.
he had so much depth and nuance to the universe. Like, you tell me Turaga can be dictatorial, like
Yeah,
fascist
exactly.
police state guys?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't see
and
why
then
they
he
couldn't.
does have a little
Yeah.
bit of a sort of change of heart later.
Yeah, he's not malicious.
Yeah.
He
he has the
right intentions, right?
Yeah.
Because like when it does come down to like pure moral acts, he does a lot of times make the correct decision. Like when the Dark Hunters are threatening him, they're like, "Give us the city, or else you're gonna die, old man." He's like, "Go for it," right?
He is just a tough cookie. Like, yeah.
Like you can almost justify. You're like, he's seen everything, so
Right.
he's cracking down on the city hard because he knows what is out there.
And it's
right?
not really his fault that he just set things up perfectly for Makuta to take over.
I mean, the Vaki are his fault, straight up, 100%.
And Nuperu. Curse you, Nuperu.
Yeah, but Nuperu wasn't the one that said, "Okay, they're good enough. Throw them out on the street."
I
That's
mean,
true, yeah.
interestingly, you could argue that Duma didn't think about the fact that he would be a target for Makuta because he put so many protections in place
Right.
to protect both Metru Nui and himself that it's like, why would Makuta go for him? You know, there would be easier targets out there for Makuta to possess or you know, try to create a plan around. But it's like, no, he went for Duma, and Duma's maybe hubris and just like confidence was his downfall in that regard. But I don't think he's completely unjustified in that thought.
Mm-hmm. So I think we put Duma in very cool because he is cool to talk about. He's cool to
agree.
think about. He has a neat dimension. But if he was gone, I don't think the story would be fundamentally
I don't
different.
know,
I
though,
agree.
because...
He could be someone else or a different character, and the story would still be
And
mostly
I
the
think,
same.
but the...
Because even with him being a totalitarian guy, when Makuta takes over, people are like, he's gotten a bit crazier. He's gotten more harsh, right? So if he was just a different guy who was more morally upstanding or different, and Makuta took over, you'd still have people saying things are getting darker, the world's getting worse, he's changed.
I don't know if I agree with that, though, because you have to imagine Duma telling Matoran to get into the pods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's a pretty large leap. Like, if you're going from a guy who is a benevolent ruler who never showed any sign of authoritarian rule, right, or tendencies, then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but even over a couple hundred years, he decays into this, like, kind of paranoid schizo guy. Like, I don't know if I would even remotely trust him. I wouldn't, but if he had thousands of year track record of being this kind of paranoid, very protective, very overprotective of the city, of the Matoran, of everything in his domain, that
Yeah, if he hadn't infantilized the Matoran so much and built the Vaki and other services, or relied so heavily on the Toa, then the Matoran, as we see in like Mata Nui and Voya Nui, would have been more resilient.
They would have been more independent, I think. Yeah, resilient, independent. And so I think he is irrevocable. Like, I think the actions he takes as that dictator really matter to how the story plays out in the Metru arc.
Yeah.
And not only in the Metru arc, but that's a key component, is the Matoran getting put in the pods. So I think that's my defense for him going.
I still stick
irrevocable.
with very cool, but I'm willing to be outvoted.
I think I would go very cool, but that's just me. I'll put him top of very cool because he had so much more than just being a cool guy. But I think you could get by without him because a lot of people don't think about Turaga doing that much, and they still think it's the same Bionicle we do. That's where I come down on it. But now we come to the Matoran of Metru Nui. First off,
starting with our... Oh, wait, no, this is Nuri. Never
Nuri.
mind.
So, Nuri, he's Vakama's mask maker mentor who Vakama surpassed, and he was all jealous. He's like, grr. But then he ended up being a pretty cool guy afterwards.
This is going to get real repetitive, but meh.
I think I'll put Nuri in pleasant because I think he does add
pleasant.
a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool concept.
It's a cool dynamic between him and Vakama.
Yeah, and it also highlights how accomplished Vakama was as a mask maker. Just reinforcing that point over and over. It's like, because he made the Mask of Time. So
I think I agree with you. He goes
pleasant.
I pretty much just don't care about any of the Metru Nui Matoran.
Well, that's what Tahuti's
No, that's
here
not
for.
true.
Except
There's one you care about.
Yes, we'll get to him. So, Tahuti.
I actually do think Tahuti is pretty hilarious. He's so weird.
What does he do? He doesn't do anything.
He's a weirdo.
He's like Wanua. He
he's
just
the-
goes into
Yeah,
the nothing
Yeah,
burger.
well, he's the archivist who does all the like. He's got. Isn't he like super? Just if I'm remembering correctly, he's like super strange,
No,
isn't he?
he's just a normal guy.
Oh, who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
There's like an archivist who's
Mavra.
really
You're
weird.
thinking of Mavra.
I wasn't thinking of Mavra.
Okay.
I was thinking of someone else.
You're thinking of Mavra. You are thinking of Mavra.
Anyway.
I'm thinking of Mavra.
I don't remember. I
Chain
guess I don't
break.
remember Tahuti very well.
Chain break. Yeah, Tahuti was just a guy. He was just an archivist that saved.
Yeah, the fact
He
that
doesn't
I don't
do
remember
anything.
anything about him except his role in the
I
Great
remember his
Search
name
of the
because
Great
it sounds
Discs
kind of
is-
funny.
is-
Tahuti.
Like, sounds like Tahiti.
So I think Tahuti is the definition of meh.
Meh.
Yeah, I agree.
So then we come to Orcam, who's just kind of a meh.
Also,
I
meh.
also
he doesn't really
think
do
meh.
very much.
Vizola, I
Vizola.
like because she has some friction with Nokama.
Vizola's a freak, though. A little freak. Like, what a weirdo and what a
She
weird
is.
thing to add to a universe.
She is really weird. But at least she has something. At least
Yeah.
she has something.
Yeah.
There's something there.
See, Vizola, she has something. Nuri, he has something. But with Tahuti, there's just
It's nothing.
Samuel, you know what you have to do when we get there. Yeah.
Look at Nuri.
He likes
Mask making.
that's something.
Vizola, she's evil.
That's something. When you say
Nuri,
I go. When you say
Tahuti.
I go.
So, Vizola, what are we thinking? Pleasant? Because I don't think
Pleasant.
I think pleasant.
she does
yeah.
not hit very cool. Arye. I remember this guy because I can never forget his stupid name. Arye. What a stupid name.
I don't know anything about.
I like Arye because he gives Nuju a lot of flack, and Nuju just hates the guy, but I'm like, anyone Nuju hates, I like.
He was a coworker, right?
He was
Yeah,
the
he
one
was-
that Nuju denied the promotion
Oh,
of,
yeah,
that's
and then
right.
Nuju was like, yeah, you totally deserve that. Get wrecked.
It's funny how like all of the Matoran that we put into the pleasant category are actually not
terrible.
pleasant. Like
Yeah.
they're all very confrontational.
Story-wise,
and,
they're
yeah.
pleasant. They add to the
Yes,
story.
I know. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Yeah,
It's,
it is
it's
funny.
funny.
So I think Arye goes in pleasant because it makes
I
it a
think
lot
so,
fun.
yeah.
It makes
I just have no opinion on any of these Matoran except
Yeah.
Vizola.
Vizol. I think you have
no,
opinion
yeah,
on
I
one
said
more of these
you're
Matoran.
forgetting.
We now come to Akmu.
Detracts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I
It's a
love
joke. It's a
Akmu.
joke. It's
Like,
a joke.
I love to hate him.
I think Akmu might actually be irrevocable because when you ask people about like least favorite character Bionicle, like Akmu's gonna be one of the major ones. Everyone hates.
He's
Akmu.
the scapegoat.
Yeah,
He's the one you can pin all of your.
He's like the Dolores
hatred on
Umbridge of
it.
Bionicle.
Yeah, and anyone who's like, he's not the pure evil villain. He's the one you personally hate
you
the
just
most.
despise him because he's just a little slime
Is-
ball.
Umbridge is a really good comparison.
Yeah, that's a
actually.
great one.
Like
Yeah.
not technically evil, but
Lariska's Bellatrix, Akmu's Umbridge, and Makuda's Voldemort.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense. I heckin' hate Akmu, but what a great story generator.
Yeah,
I would not
true.
want Bionicle without Akmu.
I mean, he's got to be.
What a weird.
You know
that
what?
felt weird
put,
to say.
Put Akmu in Irrevocable.
I'm fine with Irrevocable. Like,
I mean, to be fair, probably most people don't know about Akmu.
anyone who's played Monog knows and hates Akmu.
Fair enough.
yeah, I think he is actually very critical.
Yeah,
That's wild to put him up with.
he's actually a
Vakama
very
And
so
Mattel.
like we talked about. Harry Potter is great at this. Like J.K. Rowling was great at writing characters that are instantly hateable, right? And Akmu is instantly hateable, and so for that reason, like he is really good at being that character that you need. And so yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, I
He's
think there's few
irrevocable.
things that people hate more than little slime balls.
yeah.
And you know what? True, like fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Irrevocable. This guy's just
Wild.
the worst.
Who knew that any of the Metru Nui-Matoran, the most forgettable wave,
Yeah.
would would make it into Irrevocable?
Akmu, of all of them, Akmu is the one who made
Yeah.
it there.
Wild.
Okay, now we come on to alternate Toa. So we have first up Lee Khan.
Yes. Oh, 100% Irrevocable.
I mean, I think
I don't think he's irrevocable because they
What?
could have gotten the Toa stones any other way, or transformed into Toa any other way. And Lee Khan is a cool character.
But you
I
have
like
to
him.
consider, Thomas, would the story be the same without him?
and it would not.
I don't
because
think it
Lee
would
Khan-
because he's instrumental in their guidance.
And yeah, he's like the epitome. He's like the peak of heroic, right? He's like the standard by which they have to live
aspire
up to.
Yeah.
I think, Thomas, if I had to,
And it does help build the
defend it.
threat because of his massive skills. Like,
That's what
he's
I
the
was
only
gonna
one that
say.
could have made
Right.
it out and made
Yes.
the other Matoran.
And he's even really good as a Taraga, even for the brief time that he is one.
He's a good meat shield.
But
But
he-
his death was cool, and when I first watched the movie, it did impact me. I'm like, dang it. I think
And
I wanted
everyone
to die.
loves Lee Khan for a reason. Everyone loves Lee Khan for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, he's really cool. He's the Captain America of Bionicle.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Irrevocable.
Yeah.
Then
No,
behind Akmu though.
obviously Vakama at the top. Like at the front of the top.
Should we order the tiers?
No,
It actually looks right
I
to
think
me,
it's
so
pretty
fuck
good.
it.
So then we get to Tuyet.
Tuyet.
Tuyet, I think, is very cool.
I think also very cool, but not irrevocable. There's
do like
nothing
Tuyet.
that like in the extended universe later down the line she is important.
Mm-hmm.
But
We'll learn a lot more about her later. Right now, we don't know that much about her, but
I think she's
and
cool.
I don't
She adds a
think-
cool layer.
Yeah, but without her, I think Bionicle would still very much be Bionicle because the points in which she's really important happened largely after the story was pretty much already concluded by
Yeah.
Lego, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think if we're going based off of what we know about her right now, then we have to put her in Pleasant.
No, I think she's cool right now.
no, we
Like-
talked a lot about her with
Fair enough.
Nadiki, like
Yeah.
her involvement with Nadiki and
Yeah,
And an
that's-
evil
that's
Toa.
and just the main guy in general.
Yeah.
But
I think she's cool. Now, the Toa Haga.
yep, irrevocable.
We're familiar. I don't think they hit Irrevocable.
I know.
But
I don't think they do
Tippity
either.
top of
Oh, yeah.
very
And
So
cool.
let us be clear. We are not hating on them by saying they are not
No.
irrevocable. It's just that they could actually be not in the story. Like the Rahaga, I think, are really important. But the Haga, the Toa Haga, probably are not.
Yeah, because if you didn't have the Toa Haga and the Rahaga were just a bunch of weird little guys who showed up, the story wouldn't change that
And,
much.
like-
Their role isn't changed.
Something that's important that they do is take the Mask of Light out of Makuda's lair, right? But that could have been done in many different
So
ways,
many other
especially
ways.
And don't
since
they do
so
something
many
with the
things
Makoki
change
stones,
hands.
too?
Like the Makoki stone changes hands like seven
Everyone and their
times
mom
or
has the
something.
Makoki stone.
And so by all different methods. So it's like the Mask of Light could have changed hands by some other method than the Toahaga stealing it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, at the very least, you could have just said, like, Artaka teleported there. Boom,
Right.
done.
Yeah, true.
So
I mean, but it is kind of cool that they stole it from Artaka.
it is cool. Like, I love
Everything
everything
about the Toahaga
Toahaga
is cool.
do.
There's nothing not cool about them. They just ooze cool.
Yeah. If they had like been a fool,
That could be a shirt too.
they ooze cool.
They ooze cool.
But yeah, I love everything about them, but nothing about them is integral to the story.
I agree, yeah.
And when I didn't know about them, my perception of Bionicle wasn't drastically different.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why they're very cool. Now the Rahaga.
I don't
This
know.
one's a
This
toughie.
one's really tough because of what we've said about the Hortica as a whole.
I think they have to go in irrevocable because the story would not be fundamentally the same without them. Like they
I don't actually even know
they
if that's
act as
true.
the Taraga of the 2005
Yeah.
wave, and that's really a really important
But
role.
again, what exactly do they teach anybody other than Vakama that would be so important to the continuation of the story?
Well, and they don't even teach Vakama's stuff because he ends up falling, and Matao's the one who brings him back, right? The Rahaga don't play a part in that, at least not a significant enough part where you couldn't justify it some other way, right? And so I'm just like, and they don't teach them lessons that they really carry on to the rest of their character
that's
arcs.
what I was looking
it's mostly
for is, do they-
specific stuff.
Yeah,
It's like,
do
don't
they
get mad
learn
right here.
anything, or do they say anything as Taraga that is reminiscent of the Rahaga? Like, is there, and I can't think of anything. That's why I'm saying, like, if you remove them, is there anything to the continuing story of the Toa Metru that's, like, intrinsically linked to the Rahaga? And it's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. The only thing that would really change is them getting saved from falling when they get mutated. But again, you don't need the Rahaga for that. You can do it a lot of different ways. So
A wild Muaka could have tried to eat them, and it just sprang out and grabbed them, but then when it landed, they were able to fight them off.
Wild Manus
or you
crab.
could have just had Rudaka still need them alive.
What was that called, Jacob? Huh?
They are called crabs.
Thomas,
I was reading earlier, and
it's
they're
because-
called crabs.
It's
They're called
because
crabs.
I said that on purpose because of something Thomas told me earlier.
We'll get to it. That's Boxor.
I think it goes into very
cool. Yeah, because as much as they're not irrevocable, they are really cool, and I like them. But does
And they're
this,
good mentors.
Yeah, they are
They
good
are.
mentors. But does this put them in Pleasant? Because like they're not really an iconic part of Bionicle, and I don't often find myself thinking back to any particular interactions they have, short of Pooks. That one's
That's a fair
hilarious.
point, and I'll also say recency bias is doing a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
that
as
is
well.
definitely true. I think that
Because like every time I see the Rahaga, I'm happy. I'm like, those are cool. I like those guys. They contribute to the story. But I don't actively think about the Rahaga, which is the definition of what we put out for Pleasant.
Yeah.
Top of Pleasant, though, because I really like the Rahaga.
Again, not Rahaga slander, just
No. They have the
the
bola
reality.
spinner. They can't be bad. Now,
some of these characters we are 100% slandering.
Ki
Cough, cough, Nuju, cough, cough.
Kitongu.
I think he also kind of has to go into irrevocable only because of Time Trap, because he's important in Time Trap in helping save Vakama, really. And so it's like,
I mean, he's also
His-
important that he's the entire one of the MacGuffins for the whole wave.
Correct. Talking about the Hortica though. And it's like, again, the Hortica whole storyline could be removed, and I don't think Bionicle would, like, it could be replaced with something else, or it could be removed entirely with a few tweaks to get it to the Time Trap point without feeling like Bionicle has been violated as a whole. And so I think that
And we're using
Kitongu-
Time Trap as a measure because it is a great way to show the growth of the Metru
correct.
and how they cap
Yeah.
off and become a really cool and interesting versions of the characters.
And
Yes.
on top of that, Kitongu, I mean, like, if we're going by, like, fan reception as a certain level of, measurement on how
important
important
to
the
the
character
story,
is,
yeah.
Kitongu is massively popular.
Yeah. I mean, he's popular enough they named an entire color after him unofficially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
That's what I'm saying. Like I would
Everybody
argue
knows and
definitely he
remembers
goes into
Kitangu.
irrevocable even without the Hortica.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a major MacGuffin with the Hortica included. Just a cool character on his own. He has sick backstory and lore, and like he has real world impact. Fans love him. Would we want a Bionicle without Kitangu,
No.
or would Bionicle without Kitangu be largely unaffected?
No, I think that he is a critical part.
I agree. I think he's critical.
Okay, you know what this means though, right? You have to rename the tier Key Revocable.
Yes.
Is it key or
It's just
it's
K.
just
It's just
K?
key. The key to
No,
revocable.
there's 2 E's, Thomas, because it's key. There you go.
Do we want to do key revocable or key revocable?
Irrevocable.
Key
Just get
Irrevocable.
rid of the there you go. Irrevocable. No, keep the dash.
Keep the dash. Key revocable.
Or irrevocable, depending.
Irrevocable.
Irrevocable. Oh.
Irrevocable.
Yep. Okay. So now we move on to Nadiki, and this will include Toa and Dark Hunter Nadiki.
I think Nadiki falls into the
I think he falls into
He's-
very cool because you do think of Nadiki when you think of Metru Nui. When you think of the
that's
movie,
true.
especially,
Actually, that is.
and I do find myself occasionally thinking about
I
Nadiki.
was gonna say pleasant, but I think very cool. It fits.
I
Yeah.
enjoy Nadiki. I think he's a good character.
I think
Yeah.
with the extra information about him too, as a Toa, and just his involvement with Lee Khan and the man guy, and Tuyet also, I
Mhm.
think is actually makes him very cool.
Yeah.
In addition to what you already see in the movies.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Agreed.
Kreka.
I think the same thing about Kreka. He's so dumb, but he also is just such an enjoyable part of Bionicle.
I would put him in pleasant because I don't think of Kreka. Even when I think of Nadiki, I honestly, before we covered Metru Nui, I could remember Nadiki's name. I literally could not remember Kreka's name because I couldn't remember if it was Kreka, Krakua. I was like, it's all
there's a
mixed
ton of
together in
names
my
like
mind.
that.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I didn't care enough to remember, right?
That's a fair point.
So I would put him in pleasant.
You do have to ask yourself if that's a
But
personal fail.
You do know if we put Makuta in here, Kreka has to upscale it, right?
I realized that was coming, yes.
So when Makuta is placed, Kreka will be a tier higher
So
than
when
Makuta.
Makuta is in key revocable,
Mm-hmm.
then that means Kreka has to go into the Kreka tier, the key Kreka tier.
No, it's not the key Kreka tier because Kitangu's not there. So it'd just be the Kreka tier.
Well, but it's still the best.
Key Wreckable. There we go.
Wreckable.
Yes. So
Irrevocable.
Irrevocable.
in the meantime, we're throwing him in pleasant. That's not a slight against you, Kreka. Please don't kill me. We have now the Vaki as a group. Because I'm not going to do individual Vaki because...
I honestly think they have to be meh. Because, let me explain really quickly.
Let me be clear.
Because in the part of the story where they matter, they don't matter.
Yeah. That's a good
It's
way
true,
to
yeah.
put it.
You know? Like, what do they actually do? They only drive them forward, only drive the Toa forward towards a goal, and that could be done by literally anything else, including Nadiki and Kreka.
I was going to say, you can just have Nadiki and Kreka. The Vaki don't
They
matter.
do
Especially
nothing.
in the movie, doesn't.
To
it
me,
doesn't matter.
the Vaki are the least memorable villain wave. And that includes the Borak Call, which are just a
Hey,
which
I
are just
remember
a
the Borak
remake
Call,
of the
Jacob.
Borak.
Nah, they're an
So-
upgrade, Jacob.
Like they
Borak
aren't.
upscale.
They just. I like them better than I did originally. I have a little more attachment to them now, but I still just don't care about them really.
So meh or pleasant?
There are things
So,
I like
How
about
they
the Vaki.
function in the story, I would say they're meh, because like you don't really get to see much of their personality. In the lore, like their different quirks, how they're made, I think is a lot
and their
cooler.
cool set.
Yeah,
Like
and,
that cool look.
and the sick Vaki videos.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Vaki videos are pretty good.
Are those enough to bump them up to
I
pleasant?
think they can get. I think they could be put in.
I
pleasant.
think they can be put in pleasant only
the slogans
because-
alone.
Yeah,
are
only because of the
hilarious.
external material. Like
Okay.
the
I mean, those are story.
yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll put them low, pleasant, but those videos, man. Doing work.
Doing some
Now
real heavy lifting.
We come to Kraka now, though. So we didn't really
Yeah.
cover her much in the story, but you guys know generally what she did.
Yeah.
What do we think of her? Is she pleasant, meh, cool, very cool, key revocable?
I don't know. I don't have, like, even though we covered it, there's not a whole lot to go off of. Like, she's important in leading the Toa into Makuta, learning about Makuta's plan to get them to become.
It's
you know
a
what
mess.
I'm
It's
saying.
a mess.
That
Yeah,
one
It is
yeah,
a
yeah.
mess. I do think her turning into the Toa Nui is like really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like really, really cool.
Very cool, you might say. I think she does go in very cool because the Toa Nui is cool. She's the villain of a whole book, and she's always stuck with me since that. When I think of the third book, when I see No Kama, I think of that book, I think of that picture, I think of Kraka.
And her becoming friends with the Zivon is also pretty dope.
No, she
Tatorak.
Or Tatorak.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Helping the Tatorak,
Yes.
and then that line with her becoming more like a Toa as they became more like Rahi.
Yeah.
That's going to stick with me, I believe. So I'm fine with her being in very cool, because I do occasionally think about her outside of when I'm just reading the story.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more of her. I think she's
Yeah.
interesting, and I think there's a lot of ways you could go with her character.
I can send you to the Shadow
Breathe.
Realm and you can hang out with her.
I'm good,
The
but
zone
thank
of
you.
darkness.
My name's not Jimbo, okay? So very cool or pleasant?
Sure, I'm okay with very
Very
cool.
cool works.
Very cool. Tatorak. If this is not the definition
Yeah.
of very cool,
Tatorak
I don't
is so
know
good.
what is.
Thomas, what is the answer?
We'll get to that, Jacob.
Oh, okay.
The Vizirac has the answer, Jacob.
Yeah, they're just not giving
Why
it to
don't you
him.
go ask that?
Bruh. Kraka's like, duh. So, I think the Tatorak, it's cool to have like a giant kaiju who gets
That's
in
what I
giant
was gonna say.
kaiju battles, but is also like intelligent and like is haunted by a question.
mysterious.
And mysterious.
Yeah, like
It's
I love that aspect of
excellent.
it. It
Yeah.
is unlike anything else. Just
Mhm.
unlike anything else. Like that seems unique to Bionicle.
Yeah. I
So-
agree. A giant monster crawling up from
yeah.
like the depths of the archives, whatever.
so
like,
cool.
yeah.
Based off of what we've established, is he like would the story be significantly different without him? So it's like that could diminish it, but it is really cool.
It is cool. I think very cool because you do think about the Tatorak, right?
Yeah.
Right. You think about Bionicle and occasionally like, oh yeah, Tatorak, he's sick.
And just to reiterate something too, this is our personal tier list. Like
Yeah.
that.
That's why we're making it.
Yeah.
But not you guys.
But I'm just like I'm pointing out that we're not trying to be objective about this per se.
well, we laid out
to
some
an
objective
extent,
criteria.
yeah.
That's like
but
would the story
we
change?
think we're gonna obviously think about things differently than other people would.
Yeah.
You know, like we had a certain exposure to certain books and read them more, and you know.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
But we try to state those biases when we do have it. Like with the No Kama stuff, I'm like, I think about her because we had the book. I think very cool.
Okay.
Middle very cool. Mavra. We move on now to Mavra. I think Mavra's very cool because I do occasionally think about Mavra like just a weird, tragic, doomed figure by their own obsession.
To me, Mavra is pleasant.
But you guys, yeah, what do you think, Sam? It's up to you. So much power. Can you
I don't
feel
know.
it?
I honestly feel like Mavra is meth. Like
Really?
Mavra could not exist and I would not be sad.
Dang,
I feel
bro.
like there could be such better sympathetic characters than Mavra.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of Mavra is better than the actual.
Yeah.
That's true.
reality.
The execution's rushed and kind of jank.
So that's why I would put.
We going to. Well, if you're
I
mad, you're
think,
pleasant.
yeah,
I'm
it
very
goes in
cool. He goes in pleasant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Join your
Karzani.
fellow Matoran brothers and
Yeah.
sister.
Karzani the plant.
I
love
actually really
Karzani.
like Karzani.
I heckin' love
I like Karzani more than he's in the story or
Yeah.
how he's treated. Like he gets done dirty twice.
Yeah,
That was
he
the
really
first time he
does.
kills himself. He's like, and he's like, help me, I'm but a poor guy. Then he grows again, and then Makuta just traps him in a bubble of darkness or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, dang, what a bummer. And what a cool, unique design as well. Like, when I read he was a plant, I'm like, okay. When I see that he's like a purple, weird tentacle plant monster, I'm like, oh, did not expect that. That is unique. I will give it that. But
Yeah.
would the story be a whole lot different if Karzani was kaput?
I
Well-
don't think so. With one caveat is that he is the one to expose the truth about the Toa Metru at the end of Time Trap.
True.
And that is important to Vakama. Like that really does change a lot about how Vekama thinks about.
But did Karzani have to do that?
No,
Because an
Karzani
Order of
did not
Madanui
have to
agent
do
could
it.
have done it, right? Anyone else could have done it.
That is true.
Also, I mean, if we're talking about, semi-sentient plant species, we also have to put Morbazak.
I think Morbazak's probably in there.
I forgot the Morbazak existed. That's why he's not on this tier list.
But
do
I was
an
just going to say,
unofficial
Karzani
Morbazak.
is the much better version of sentient plant.
Oh yeah.
So,
And even in lore, that's his purpose. He's the
Yeah.
cooler older brother of the Morbazak.
yeah.
So where are we putting him? Pleasant or very cool?
I think very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with very cool. Now, if there was hypothetically a Morbazak, where would we put it?
I think Morbazak goes into pleasant.
Pleasant.
Yeah,
It serves its purpose very well.
because especially the death scene,
Yeah.
that scene is cool.
It
Yeah.
serves its purpose really well and does what it needs to do, being a plant monster that attacks Metru Nui. That's all it does, and that's all it needed
Yeah.
to do, and it does it well.
I think it is, as far as being the threat against the Toa during the search for the Great Discs, it could have been anything else. So
Yeah.
it's like the Morbazak's a cool concept, but Karzani is also the same concept and done in a more interesting way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I think the Morbazak is clearly pleasant.
Yeah. Okay.
The Eep.
The energized protodermis entity, the EpiPin, the EpiPro.
Or Eep.
I think he's very cool. I think he hits all the criteria because, like, what a crazy concept that it doesn't keep me up at night, but I'm like, wow, that is
I actually
interesting.
do think about
I think
the
about the
energized
energized
protodermis
protodermis
entity a lot. So
Like,
yeah.
Me too.
What if Destiny was alive and was kind of a jerkwad? It's like
Just
what?
like a little bit of a jerk and like
Yeah.
a slight bit of a tyrant.
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
like
just
an egotistical tyrant scientist guy. It's like
It's such a weird concept that's actually done like surprisingly well.
Mhm. Yeah, he's exposed just enough where it keeps the mystique, but you can like still beat him and like believe it. Right?
Yeah.
I think he's just super well done.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Now we come
Plus,
on
sick design.
to the most iconic character, Nivok.
Oh god.
Nivok does not detract, but is clearly a
Nivok
meh.
is meh.
I like
Yeah.
Nivok a lot less since we learned more about it.
the nothing that is
Yeah.
about Nivok.
Like when I saw it as a set, I'm like, cool. When I learned that there's just it is a nothing, I'm like, wow, okay. Makes me sad now.
Yeah.
I kind of just get sad every time I look at it.
I don't even think about Nivok. It just floats by my mind. Nothing. And when I read about Nivok, I'm like, I don't care at all. But that brings us on to Makuta.
Obviously irrevocable.
I think he detracts. He's a mean guy.
He's obviously top of irrevocable. I mean, the story literally would not be the same at
yeah.
all without Makuta.
True. Yeah, he's key revocable.
Yep.
Yeah. There's nothing much to say. Like, just talking through the story events pretty much shows you all the reasons Makuta is irrevocable,
He's
right?
integral.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
literally cannot take him out of the story without fundamentally changing the story.
Everything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Literally nothing would be the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's really funny that you were complaining about Thomas for saying irrevocable wrong, and then you said integral.
Integral is a perfectly valid way of saying it.
Maybe if you're
So
a
is
math nerd.
irrevocable.
Well, let's look that one
No,
up too.
we're good. We're good.
I am a math nerd.
You're banned
and
from
we
using the
say
word.
integral. No one says an integral. Okay, probably someone says
An
integral.
I
integral
would
piece of
argue most
information.
No, when they're talking about integrals in math,
Oh,
they do
okay,
not say
whatever.
integral.
I don't
Yeah, I
know
know.
anything
But
about
this
that.
wasn't a math thing.
I know, but I'm saying you said okay.
Anyway, can we
math
move on?
nerd.
What? It doesn't matter.
Okay, the shadowed one.
Yep, from the Master of Shadows to the Shadowed One. Is he overshadowed? I don't
No, I love the
Yeah,
shadowed
the Shadowed One is
as the leader of
cool.
an organization of the Dark Hunters, which are already like sick in and of themselves. You have the Dark Hunters on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As
Primary pronunciation on Merriam-Webster.
Integral?
I hate that.
Yeah, well, what does Merriam-Webster know?
There is integral.
Bro doesn't even have one name. He couldn't decide between Merriam and Webster. Like, I'm not going to listen to him.
I don't even know. Never mind. This is one of those times when it
And
doesn't
isn't
warrant a
Miriam a
response.
girl's name? Anyway,
Why the name Mary? My father's name was Mary. His father's name was Mary before that. His father's name was, I can't remember what it is.
Greg or something.
Yeah.
Question regarding the whole Mary thing.
My father's name was Mary. His father before him was named Mary, and his father before him was named Craig.
Fair enough.
So the shadowed one, I think he's irrevocable. I wouldn't want or think of Bionicle the same if he wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think especially since the Dark Hunters are so crucial to Bionicle
and
as
the
a
way
whole.
the shadowed one function as a character
Well, yeah,
is
'cause
really
he's
important
the
to
ultimate
the Dark
big bad,
Hunters. Yeah.
right. It fleshes out the world. It's like there's two evil
And
factions
the way
trying to
he's
defeat
done
everyone.
is perfection.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you couldn't do better than the shadowed one.
Yeah, he's great. Sidorak, pleasant or meh? I'm thinking meh. He doesn't
The more
need to
I learn about
exist.
Sidorak, the less I am
Like him.
interested by him.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
You know, like, which is a real shame because there is something about him that makes me really want to like him more than I do.
Mhm.
You know?
But it's not even in his concept. It's in ideas of his concept.
Yeah.
It's like I can see what you were trying to maybe go for with this character.
Yeah.
Just nothing though.
I think he has to go low meh, really.
Yeah. Below Nevok?
No. Not even below the Matoran.
I think so
'cause
because he's
Nevok-
more disappointing.
Yeah.
Nevok, there was no expectation,
Yeah.
right?
And he did not deliver.
Like, Sidorak is close to detracting because in his place could have been
A different
such
character
a
that's a
good
lot
Yeah.
better.
character that adds,
The
really
only thing
adds to the story.
that keeps him from being detracting is the concept of his character. Like
Yes.
the
Mhm.
rough concept of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, Rudaka.
Rudaka is
I
the
think
very
I think
least very
irrevocable.
cool.
irrevocable because
Yeah.
she's really important, but you also I link her to Bionicle.
Yeah.
She's a very
She's
important
iconic
part
to the
of it.
franchise. She's the main villain
Yeah.
of the wave. And as a character, she's also super fascinating and interesting.
Her
Like,
design,
yeah.
everything about
Even
her,
if
her
I wanted
presence.
her just as a character and a design, I think I would want her in Bionicle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, key revocable.
and then, but having her be part of the Herd of Makuta and part of the Dark Hunters, part of
Interestingly,
also
though-
the leader of one of the leaders of the Vizorak Swarms is just like adding on layer of just extra icing on top of the cake.
It is cool, but as far as story function goes, she is not irrevocable. You could remove her, especially based off of what we've said on the Hortica so many times at this point. And it's her primary function in the story is what happens during the Web
But
of Shadows
she
era.
is integral to the 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's because of her
True.
scheming that the Toa aren't instantly killed. It's because of her scheming Kama can disband the wave once Sidorak dies, right? Because she gives him control of the Horde so that she can kill Sidorak. But then the Horde doesn't trust her, and Vakama tells them to disband. So she is the reason the Vizorak are as effective as they are, and are defeated.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Disregarding Hortica,
Yeah.
then she really is not important. Until, again, there are other things that happen
Yeah.
in the universe, but as a whole,
Yes, but
I
Hortica
don't-
is a part of the franchise, and her not being there wouldn't change that. If the Toa weren't there, Hortica as a wave wouldn't exist. If Rudaka wasn't there, Hortica as a wave would still exist. So since it would still exist, and she is there as part of it,
Yes,
she massively adds to the
I
story.
can see what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want a Bionicle without Rudaka, because
Yeah.
that's also one of the second ways we can use irrevocable. So
Agreed.
I think she deserves top tier.
Did you really put all the
Vizorak?
in separately?
Well, yeah, I thought it'd be fun because they'd just be quick and easy. Now, the Vizorak Horde as a concept, as a group, as the whole shebang. I think
Very
they're
cool.
very
Very
cool.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine Bionicle without them. I couldn't imagine Bionicle without the Borak, but I could imagine Bionicle without the Vizorak.
Yeah. And almost weirdly, 2005 could work with actually something different. Something similar, but
You mean the
different.
Vizorak?
Yeah, the Vizorak.
Yeah,
sorry.
because them being spiders,
Yeah.
or them, any aspect about what they do in Metru Nui doesn't really matter. It just needed to be a destructive, occupying force.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you could do the mutation as one of the things that they need to be there for, but I don't know. Toa get mutated in so many weird and
I don't
random
think
ways.
that's actually
Could do
true
it.
because Rudaka could also.
Oh yeah, she does have a mutation spinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they could have been mutated in a variety of different ways.
Some of which I actually think would be better and more interesting than what we got with the Visorak.
I think
the-
it's fine.
The smart
fine.
part of
That's
the
what I'm saying.
Visorak
It's
is that
fine.
you get a broad villain, right? Like you get an army, right? In addition to changing the characters and adding
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, they
Visorak
do a lot
venom
of
or the
things at once
Vortica
very
venom.
well.
Yeah, and I think they're just a lot of concepts that mesh together very well.
Yeah.
They don't have that spark, that je ne sais quoi. They don't capture my imagination.
Like the Borok,
exactly.
which I feel like are similar in so many ways, but just that much
yeah,
better.
the Borok just had that sauce. I can't describe it.
Yeah.
That the Visorak don't. But I think Visorak, very, very cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, the specific Visorak breed that I just put in here for fun. So Vodorak, the get angry berserker invincible guy. I think he's pleasant.
Yeah.
He's not pleasant to be around.
No.
The Bogarak. This is
I
one
love
of the,
Bogarak.
Bogarak.
the Bogarik. I think Bogarik is very cool. I heckin' love
Is this-
Bogarik.
Bogarak, the species of Visorak, or
Yes,
the
it's
specific?
as a breed. No, that's
or-
that's Kolarak, Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely separate
sorry,
Visorak.
sorry.
No, this is the Bogarak as a breed, which I think they're cool. I think they add a lot to the story.
I like the Bogarak.
Overpowered as heck, though. Like,
Yeah.
what were you thinking, Greg? Now, the Keelarak.
Kalarak.
These
And-
are the guys that spin in the air. And
Yep.
fly.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
also includes Kolarak, the
Yes,
single one.
obviously
Yeah.
it has to go at least pleasant.
Irrevocable. I cannot imagine a world without Kolarak.
I love their little spinny thing.
And he must go in the key revocable tier because he's a Keelarak. I don't make the rules, okay, guys? I am bound by fate and laws. Now we come to Unarak, the
I like
mimic.
Unarak.
Is really cool. Probably
Yeah.
my second favorite after Bogarak. Like, it's just interesting. There's a lot of things you can do, and I think they
Is
did
Unarak the
them.
one that was with Vakama the whole time?
No, that was a Bogarak.
Oh, okay.
I think
The Unarak were the ones that tricked Matt Tao.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because they
Mhm.
mimicked sound, and the
Mhm,
Bogarak
they mimic voices and have the slight telepathy.
and the Bogarak can just
Dehydrate
tell-
people and hum to turn you into dust.
It'd be interesting to do this at the entire end of the podcast and
that
like come
would be
back
interesting.
and see after like
Yeah,
Jacob
how
said
much
the
we
recency
remember.
bias and
Yeah.
like how
Be
much
like
we
10
actually
hours
did
long.
think about and remember and see if we can go like, oh yeah.
One thing that's interesting that I never thought about. I think it would have been more interesting if Unarak had been Vakama's companion, because it would have made
That
sense
would
how
have made more
it
sense.
could talk.
But he wasn't blue, Jacob.
Sorry.
You needed to be blue for the illusion.
In
the
order
illusion.
to be no comma.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The
I'm sure that's what they
illusion.
were actually thinking.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It
it's
doesn't.
like,
Yeah.
okay, bro. You can see all of Metru Nui restored, but if it's a different color, it
Right.
ruins the illusion.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, Unarak goes.
I think very
Very cool.
I think bottom very cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Roparak.
What is that one
Nah.
again? I don't even remember
That's
what it
the
does.
one that can camouflage and shoot long range spinners.
The
Nothing.
sniper.
Yeah, which a lot of cool stuff he could have done there. No avenues were taken. Sukarak.
Also meh.
I think meh, but looks heckin'
I was gonna
sick.
say the
Oh,
design
yeah,
looks
yeah.
sick, but
All the Visorak look great, like
yeah,
really
but
cool.
Sukarak especially, just I don't know. It's just the coolest in my opinion by
Yeah.
far. But now we go to Kagarak.
I think Kagarak is very cool.
I think Kagarak is very cool.
Yeah.
Because it just introduces the entire concept of the Shadow Realm. It's like, I love this concept. That is so cool. And having a special breed of Visorak that trades in everything just for that one spinner power, essentially. Because they can't shoot webs, they can't
Yeah.
use the poison, but it's just like totally worth it. I can see that being a trade-off people would make.
And I also like the bit of lore that they like grow to different sizes. Like
Mhm.
they
different
can-
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat.
It's cool. And it makes for one of the heckin' coolest scenes in Web of Shadows when
Yeah.
Murdoch is riding on the giant Kagarak. So
That is really cool.
I think they add a lot to the lore. The Zivon. The
Zivon
Zivon's
is great. I love Zivon.
very cool or pleasant.
I think it has to go into
Probably very cool. The concept of like creature from the Shadow Realm comes out and kills a bunch of stuff that's just cool. It's just cool. I just like it.
It is cool, and it is. I do
But-
like its design playing into like it's just a weird, warped, funky looking thing. Like it doesn't look
Yeah.
like a normal creature. But I don't find myself caring that much about it, like I do the Tatorok.
I was gonna say
It's not as good as Tatorok.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna ask is, do you think about it outside of the context of the fight with the Tatorok? Like,
I mean, when you think about the Shadow Realm, you think of the Zivon as well. But like, I
The
don't-
Zone of Dark.
even when I do think about it, I don't care about the Zivon that much. I think it has cool implications. So I guess in that way it does serve the story, right? It's like their Visorak Horde's trump card because they don't want to use it because it eats other Visorak. It initiates a cool kaiju battle. It adds a threat to the Shadow Realm besides just being lost forever. So I think it does add to the story. And you do occasionally think about it. I just don't personally care that much. But I think if we go by a more objective metric, would fit the very cool category.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we get into the Brotherhood of Makuta. What do we think about Makuta having a brotherhood that has other Makuta in it, as well
At
as
this
just a
point
large
in the story,
organizational
we just
force?
don't know anything about
Yeah, that's
it.
what I was gonna say. This
All we
is
know
a
is
hard
that
one to
Rudaka's in it
answer.
and Makuta's in it. And that's it.
Sidorak's in it. All the Visorak are in it. The Exotoa are in it.
Which is so weird.
Yeah. Dark Hunters are closely associated
We just don't know
with it.
enough about it. So I say it has to go into the pleasant category because right now it's like
I don't
there's
think
a lot
so,
of potential here.
Because when you see it, when you think of it, when you hear Makuta has a brotherhood and it has agents who lead an entire Visorak horde to take over the city, do you just not think about that ever
No,
again?
I was gonna say I cannot separate it from Makuta Pterodax once I think of him, because it's like he's just linked to the Brotherhood no matter what. Like in my mind, as soon as I learned that, it's like, yeah, he's part of the Brotherhood, and there are a whole bunch of people like him, right? So I think that they are irrevocable. Yeah, like even at this point.
Yeah,
I
because
could
even
see-
at this point, you're like, he has a massive organization working for him that is like diverse and has all these cool tactics and plans set up. They had the Toahaga working for him. Like,
Fair enough.
that
Fair
just
enough.
sparks intrigue in me. So at this point, I don't know if they're irrevocable quite yet.
I feel
but
like
they're
I
at
have
the
to
very
go with
least
very
top of very
cool.
cool.
I have to go with very cool.
I would say at this point, very cool, but in the future, irrevocable.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Hunter's up next.
100% irrevocable.
As personified by
Irrevocable.
Kitongu, thanks whoever put that on the cover.
No, Thomas, that's Shapeshifter Man
Yeah,
McGee.
yeah, of course. How did I forget? Yeah.
How'd you forget about Shapeshifter Man McGee?
Yeah, classic Dark Hunter shapeshifter man McGee. Anyway, Dark Hunters as a concept, I think are irrevocable.
I agree, because at this point we've already seen the Shadowed One, we've seen Nadiki, we've seen Kraka, we've seen Rudaka, how they all interact, and like Time Trap, the events would not happen in the satisfying way that they do without the Dark Hunters, because even though the Shadowed One is really important in that book, so is Sentrak and so is Voparak, right?
Yeah.
Plus, I
So-
love the introduction of just organizations, like these ancient organizations that have been around influencing things
Yeah.
and expanding the world.
and you
the
see Dark
universe,
Hunters
right?
everywhere, in every
Yeah.
way, all the time. It's just like they're omnipresent, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but understandably so. They're going to be around the most important events trying to do their own stuff. And they are. So you're always thinking about the Dark Hunters, how they would want this, how they'd use it for their own game, who would hire them to come and do stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I would not want a story without the Dark Hunters. It would
agree.
be worse and less interesting.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
Order of Matanui.
We just don't know.
Yeah, we know so little.
I mean,
at
there-
this
we
time.
don't even know that they exist until literally the last line
Yeah.
of the last book.
Yeah.
That's true.
But as a mysterious organization fighting for good against Makuta and the Dark Hunters, what do you think?
like the concept.
I think it's a cool concept.
I like him.
Because you're like, we've never even seen one of these guys. How are they so good? Because as
Yeah.
we see the events they manipulate, they tricked Makuta himself. Wowza. It's making my skin tingle with like fascination.
very
freaking
cool.
me out.
Very cool for sure. For sure, very cool.
Yeah, I think they go to very cool just on that alone. Because
Which
they
is
don't go to
wild-
Pleasant because you're thinking like there's
Which
more
is
of these
wild
guys.
that they
Yeah.
had like 0.01% of the development that Sidorak had, and they still beat him by 2 tiers.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Gets mentioned one time, is still cooler than Sidorak.
He's not gonna recover from that. Okay, now this one, Metru Nui as an island as a whole.
Oh yeah,
Irrevocable.
irrevocable.
Irrevocable. like-
Literally, I mean, almost as fundamentally important as Makuta himself to the story as a whole. Pretty darn close.
Because could you have the events not take place on a dystopian city island? How much would change?
Almost everything.
I think the problem, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the problem stems from how Metru Nui interacts with the rest of the world. Also, like without Metru Nui, the concept of Metru Nui, the story would be significantly worse. Like actually way worse. Like how they're the hub of knowledge, the hub of industry, like the just
They export energy as well to other
yeah,
islands.
right. Like they are, the island is super important to the general workings of the universe, and to just not have it, like maybe not. I think having it as the setting was extremely important because it gave you the ability to really work on fleshing it out and exploring those avenues and exploring how it connects to the rest of the universe at large, because you could have it mentioned in passing, like, you know, if this had been set on, let's say, some random other Nui, right, and they were like, oh yeah, we get all our power from Metru Nui, it's like, wouldn't you go, how come you didn't set it there? I want to see what's on Metru Nui, right?
Yeah.
And you'd also probably be thinking like, why does Makuta care so much about
right.
this place?
And so
Like,
I think
whatever.
the way it's built and structured, and the how they managed to tie it in and make it so important makes sense for why the story happens there and why it happens the way it happens, including Makuta's rule.
And it's also great at showing like how the genre is changing, because it's not just fantasy anymore, it's now sci-fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Sci-fi and fantasy. Firmly, like very sci-fi. You can't explicate Bionicle from the sci-fi element anymore. The
Right.
fact that they're robots is now vitally important, right?
Yeah, and I think like they call it the City of Legends, and it really does live up to that in so many ways. Like it just does become that legendary location, like that central hub, that core of the universe in so many ways.
I don't know if I think it's legendary, because it's not like shrouded in myth or history like Metru Nui is. It's more just straight up important, and like you can't go without it.
I think it's legendary in the sense that you will never forget it. It will live on in tales indefinitely. Whereas like it's not legendary as in a mystical sense. It's not legendary in how you would imagine some of the tales. Like when you think of
It'd be like Roman
like
Empire
the surfer,
legendary.
Lee the Surfer or whatever his name, like
Yeah.
how they tell the story of Lee Khan, like that's a legend, right? And so it's like that is, Lee Khan is legendary in the sense that we'd think of like a story passed on for generations in a more mythical sense, whereas like Metru Nui is legendary in its importance and scale and impact, like just in terms of those things.
Yeah. Okay, so Irrevocable, I think, is a good spot. Now, for specific areas in Metrus, we have
Doors.
the archives, which is symbolized by this door.
What doors? I don't see any.
Exactly.
I think
there are no doors.
The archives are really cool.
I love the
They're very
archives.
cool.
I would say they're almost irrevocable.
I think almost.
They're brought up so often.
Because the first landmark, or like the first thing you think about with Metru Nui is like when they go into the archives, when they do stuff in the archives, like how deep and extensive the archives are.
The archives are at the very least fundamental to Metru Nui, at least.
Yeah, because
If
so many
not
story elements
fundamental
come
to-
from the archives, right? So
Yeah.
much stuff happens there specifically. It allows them to maneuver around during the Hordica arc, right? It explains so much about why all the Rahi are there, like why they went to Metru Nui. Just, yeah, I think that it adds so much to the story if it wasn't there, I'd feel like Bionicle is at least slightly different and lesser for it.
Yeah, I
Its
agree.
archives do invoke wonder and awe in me.
Yep, I agree.
So what do you think? Irrevocable.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I will buy that.
Low irrevocable though. The Great Forge, the Great Furnace.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Great setting.
I think pleasant.
I was
'cause, like,
going to say
it doesn't
pleasant.
really
I think it's
do
very
anything of
cool.
its own.
I just love the concept of, the forges, and it's a really excellent setting for so many things, and that's why.
Yeah, but they only set it for one thing, and then the Morbazak destroys it when he dies.
Well, but it's also the setting for Vakama's vision, and kind of just like it kind of becomes like a fundamental part of what Metru Nui is as a whole, and like it's that hub of industry and creation, innovation, all these things.
It's not though, because like Gametru's the hub of like teaching. Kometru's the hub of innovation. Metru may also be the hub of innovation with how they experiment with the vehicles. Whereas the Great Forge, they just make the same old stuff there, just at a slightly higher quality. But even then, you don't need that high quality to make something like the Mask of Time.
I suppose, yeah.
And all they use it for is, story-wise, having the Morbazak be in it and then blow up. Okay.
Which, to be fair, is very cool.
It is cool, but it could have happened anywhere.
Yeah. Suppose.
So, I don't really care about the Forge.
I would put it in pleasant.
I would put it in meh.
I would put it in very cool.
So pleasant
Pleasant it is. The Great Temple.
I like the Great Temple.
Definitely very cool, if not irrevocable.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
think I'd put it that high because it has a lot more potential than it actually lives up to.
Yeah, because like there are a lot of like there's so many Toa tools and tablets and carvings.
You're
and
not thinking of the
masks.
Colosseum, are you? saying?
No, I'm thinking of the...
Like the Great Temple, like I feel like they could have done more. They could have explored it more deeply, found more interesting information out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pseudo archives.
That had the potential to be the legendary part of the City of Legends,
Or if you'd
right?
seen like worship there, or like what rites and rituals they do to Madanui or whatever, something truly spiritual there. Like, because the one cool aspect of that is like when the Hortica are repelled by it, because the Rahi nature goes against the creation spirit of Madanui. It's like, whoa, that's interesting, but that's all we get.
I think the thing that makes me think that it's more important is the fact that that's also where the Suva is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and that really is the only place that makes sense for the Suva, right? Like,
It could have been the Colosseum.
I don't really think so, because like on Matanui, it's Kini Nui, right? Is where their Suva. Well, they have the
They have the
Suvas in the
specific
different
Suvas and the
Wahis, but
Koros.
then in like the Great Temple, right? Is well, not the Great Temple, but their temple is where. What happens there?
Kini Nui is where they go to Mangaya. They tell most of the tales to the Toa
It's
there.
also where
Oh.
they fight the Rock-Shi.
They fight the
Yeah,
Rock-Shi. It's
that's
the main
right.
gathering place for
Okay.
them.
For some reason, I was thinking the Suva was there, but they have the Suvas.
It's
in
also
the
where they
different
put
Well, they
in
do
their
have
masks
remember.
to get the golden mask.
They do
That's-
have this,
okay.
the big Suva there, right?
Yeah, there's a big Suva there. They just don't use it.
But my point is, like, even on Madanui, all of the Suvas are in a more spiritual place, right? Somewhere dedicated to that. Whereas if it wasn't in the Great Temple, that would feel really awkward to me. Like, it would seem like, why is it in the Colosseum? That doesn't seem like a very private nor spiritual place.
Yeah, because
for
since the
the
Toa
Suva.
are kind of linked with spirituality,
Yeah.
it would be weird to have it in like a clinical like city hall sort
It's
of
just
place.
the
Correct. So
the
that-
Great Temple and the Colosseum serve many of the same purposes, and they could be conflated,
I don't know.
and you wouldn't detract that much.
Yeah, like if you'd combine them and you had the Colosseum be a more sacred place rather than the Great Temple being a more secular place or mundane place, would it have been a cooler thing?
I don't think so. I think having them separated is cooler.
Well, I agree with you. I think that
But does it
that's what
contribute
I'm
more to
saying.
the story?
I do think that it contributes a little bit more to the story that way. I really do.
Because it also does get them out of the center. Like, they don't have to go to the Colosseum to put in the Toa stones, which facilitates the plot quite heavily. Because if they had to go to the Colosseum, Duma Makuta would have just been like, get those guys, they're a
Yeah.
bunch of Toa. So it does help the plot in that way. It is a cool location. I like it.
Is it lackluster? Like, could there have been way more that happens there? Absolutely. It could have been one of the coolest locations
Totally.
on Metru Nui, but nonetheless, I do think it is really important.
Do you think about it as part of Bionicle?
Yeah, I do. In fact, when I was talking about Metru Nui and thinking about the knowledge, right? Like, you have the knowledge, you have the power, and you have like the industry, right? The things that come to my mind are knowledge is the Great Temple, very first thing, right? Power is also the wherever they the powers from the Colosseum. Remind me.
So the powers from the Colosseum, the Great Temple's the feeding station.
That's what I was gonna say. Okay, I couldn't remember which one was which. I knew they were, yeah. Anyway, industry is a combination of a few of the other places, but the knowledge is always, I always think of the Great Temple first. So
I think of the knowledge towers, but that's...
I don't think of the Great Temple really at all. Sometimes I forget it exists.
The funny thing for me is I actually forget the knowledge towers more than I forget about the Great Temple.
Dang. So, where would you say it goes, Jacob?
Pleasant.
Where would you say it goes?
I think it goes into Key Revocable.
I think Pleasant. Well, because like I don't think about it that much. I'm not a Great Temple stan. I'm an okay Temple stan.
I completely understand your point, Samuel. I don't think that to me, it doesn't quite live up to the potential that it had. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't grip me the way that it absolutely could have.
Yeah, for me, it kind of falls into the Sidorak thing where like there's cool ideas in the concept. It just didn't merge into a single thing. Because imagine, right, if it all been merged into one. It's like they placed the mask there, they placed the Toa tools there because it's sacred. It's dedicated to Metru Nui. When they go and get their energy restored for the year, they like say a prayer or things, or they give a tool to the Suva, since Metru Nui's giving them another year of life or whatever from the rivers that flow underneath to power the Colosseum generator. Like, there's a lot of cool things you could have done. It's just a road not taken that I think would have massively given more depth to the story. That's my opinion, and you're wrong for having yours. Get wrecked.
Fight.
Samuel's pursing his lips. Ta Metru as a Metru, I think is pretty lame. I don't like it that much. It's just industrial fire.
Just all the great
aesthetically, I think it's sick, but I don't care about it that much.
I agree.
Whatever. Pleasant.
Yeah.
Or
Pleasant.
meh. Because we did say, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But it's not meh. It's not. Meh to me is kind of lame. It's not really lame. I think
is Tom Metru in the same tier as an Evok and Sidorak?
You also have to wonder, is Tom Metru in the same tier as the Great Temple?
Yes.
Yeah. Tom Metru versus the Great Temple? You've been like brainwashed by Great Temple propaganda or something. Big temples bought you. I think I'm fine with Pleasant.
Yeah.
If it helps Samuel, I'll move Great Temple.
I'm okay with it being at the top or even...
It's fine. Just leave it where it is. No, the Rahaga.
We can put it above Kreka just for you.
Thank you.
The Ko-Metru.
Also pleasant.
To me, Ko-Metru is just the knowledge towers. There's nothing else.
There isn't anything else in
I mean, there's
Ko-Metru,
Kitangu's hiding place, but that's completely unimportant.
But when you see pictures of Ko-Metru, it's just
the knowledge towers
on a flat surface.
To be fair, the knowledge towers are really cool.
They are really cool. Everything in Metru Nui is really cool.
Yeah.
The whole place just screams cool.
But if they had two cool things, Ko-Metru would be way cooler.
It can't be much cooler because it's already ice cold.
Funny joke. But Nuju's also there, so it has one cool thing and one really uncool thing. Tracks.
I'm just kidding.
So we're going with...
I like it. It's pleasant.
Pleasant or meh?
I think it's pleasant because it has more going for it than Tom Metru does.
Dang, bro. Sniped it. But I agree. I like it more than Ko-Metru because it has something.
I disagree. I think Tom Metru has a lot of...
Did I call it To-Metru?
You said Ko-Metru.
Ko-Metru.
So you said you like it better than Ko-Metru.
True.
I mean, I don't know how
Ko-Metru
that works.
upscale?
Yeah. I like Kometru better than Kometru. Kometru upscale, boys.
But do we like it better than Lei Metru or Lee Metru?
No, I think Lee Metru is more interesting
more
than both
interesting.
of those because the shoots as well as the Moto Hub is.
I actually think Lee Metru is
Cool.
very cool.
Ooh,
I do.
Very cool.
It's really cool. The shoots by themselves are really
the shoots
cool.
are really cool. I will
And-
But they're
admit
not a
that.
uniquely Lei Metru
But they
trait.
are a fundamental and integral aspect
Ah, got him.
of Lee Metru.
Yeah, it's like their thing. But Lei Metru also has more going for it with the air vehicles and the transport.
airships
Yeah,
and the
and the
transports.
airships.
I think it
Which
could,
does facilitate the story because they need the airships
Yeah.
and they need the shoots. Like the shoots are important for getting around. Multiple
Lei
fight
Metru,
scenes
to
take
me,
place on them.
Is the most Metru Nui of all the Metrus.
I think I agree pretty much. Like it's really cool.
yeah.
I like Lei Metru, and the aesthetic is sick.
Yeah.
Like I think the green, the urban jungle. I think I like it. Po Metru.
It's fine.
I don't much care about Po Metru.
It's cool. I like the giant sculptures.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the
the giant
sculpture
sculptures
fields
are cool.
Are cool. I don't think they're as cool as the Knowledge Towers though.
No.
And the rest of Po Metru's just
Desert.
dirt, nothing.
Rock.
I mean, it's cool that they're like kind of like the assembly center, which I think is interesting, but we don't get to like see much of that. We see
Yeah.
the assemblers village, but it's like a bunch of random huts.
It's just more the same of Po Koro, really, or Po Wahi.
yeah, it's like if you put big buildings in Po Wahi.
Yeah,
So pleasant or meh?
I think pleasant.
pleasant.
I think it has some stuff going
Yeah.
for it.
Metru Nui's just cool. It's hard to get to
Yeah.
meh. Ga Metru.
I like
Ga
Gametru.
Metru is
Gametru's
cool.
cool. I
I
wish
think-
we knew more about
I
it.
think I would put Ga Metru in very cool.
Yeah, because of the protodermis refining,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
is really what
and the
bumps
aesthetic
it
is
up.
unbeatable.
The
It is
aesthetic
just
is
stunning.
and it's like the only place with actual like vegetation and life and like the concept of the teachers being there and being like the schools and whatever. I don't know, it just hits me right for some reason, so I'm fine with very cool.
It feels
For
very
it.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Not as cool as Lee Wahi.
Lei Metru.
No, I mean Lei Metru. Sorry. Yeah.
Lei Wahi, you're like trees. And
No,
then
I think all the Metrus. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Onu Metru.
Oh no, Metru's really cool. Very cool also.
How much do we separate it from the archives?
It is separated from the archives in my mind because the archives are very specific.
Uh-huh.
But Onu Metru with all the cliffs and then having the archives built down into those giant
Yeah,
ravines
aesthetically,
is
it is
the
insane.
giant towers
It's
coming
like
the
out too.
cool-
Yeah.
And with the airships going down into the ravines.
And the
it's just-
protodermis miners and the
Yeah.
social structures of like the archivists, the miners.
Onu Metru has a lot going for it.
I think it's still not very cool,
I think it's
though.
high pleasant.
High pleasant, I was thinking.
Sure.
Higher than the Rahaga? Higher than no comma?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I think
that's
below
pretty
the
good.
Toa.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was just gonna say, I feel like pretty much all the Metrus do something that the Wahis or the Koros tried to do, but better. I think all of them kind of like grabbed onto an aesthetic and just like really nailed it down, especially Onu Metru. Like Onu Metru takes something. Onu
I, don't know,
Koro
I
was
really
kind of
like the
boring.
Wahis. I think they're cool.
the problem, like the benefit they had with the Metrus is that you could do more crazy things, whereas you were limited to a natural landscape
Yeah.
in Mata
Well, but
Nui,
that's what
right?
I like about it.
So you like the natural landscape?
Well, I do
Or-
like the natural landscape, but that's what I like about the Metrus.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you're right that they were able to refine an idea more so than they were able to on Mata Nui just because of the constraints of what they were trying to do and by keeping it more natural.
Mhm.
So
Plus, you didn't put the Colosseum on here.
Oh, dang. I didn't put the Colosseum on here. Where would we put
Obviously, irrevocable.
the Colosseum? Irrevocable or just very cool? Would the story be worse without the Colosseum? Would Bionicle be drastically or even minorly different without the Colosseum?
Yes.
I think it would be different, but I don't think it would be drastic different.
Could you give up the Colosseum? Would you still have the same conceptions of Bionicle? Because I think
It
I
depends,
actually
'cause
would.
I can't separate it from the like iconography of Metru Nui, right? Like
Mhm.
it's a silhouette. It's like New York without the Statue of Liberty. Would it be fundamentally different? No. But it's such a crucial part of the identity of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be worse. It would be lesser without New York. Would be lesser without the
Because if you're like,
Statue
we're
of
going to
Liberty.
Metru Nui and there's no Coliseum there, I'd be like, this place
What makes
isn't
it
as interesting.
special.
Yeah.
I think also as far as how it functions in the story, it makes sense to have this grand meeting place that all of the Matoran are well aware of and that they wouldn't be concerned going to because it's a place where they naturally would gather. But it's this grand structure which seems fitting for Metru Nui, but it also is fitting for the kind of displays shown there and the political displays as well, right? Like where Duma is addressing the Matoran, right? Those kind of things are really would be diminished if it was not in something very similar to the Colosseum.
I agree, yeah, because it is a legendary thing about Metru Nui. Like, if you took nothing else away from Metru Nui, you'd be like, there was this massive building that had all this cool stuff in it. Like, it does really set Metru Nui apart. And I wouldn't want Metru Nui without it. But I want the whole story without it, though.
To me, it's on like the same level as Kitongu. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's this. Maybe the story itself would not be fundamentally different, but it would be a lot less cool.
Wouldn't that put it in very cool tier?
Well, but I do, like I said, there are the small changes that lead to the big changes. So, for example, like without having a place that would be common for the Matoran to go and a place where they would feel comfortable, then it would feel more odd when Duma Makuta starts gathering them together, especially to the Colosseum, to put them into these pods, right? So it's like, at least the concept of the Colosseum, I think, is necessary for Makuta's plan to work in a way that feels reasonable and believable. And so, and if it doesn't feel reasonable and believable, then it greatly diminishes the whole story because that does have to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And not having that visual representation of like the power and the strength and the sturdiness and the dominance, I think makes Metru Nui just it subtly changes so many aspects of how
yeah, I think it puts a
Metru Nui
nice, neat conceptual
presents
bow
itself
on Metru Nui. Yeah. So I'm fine with putting it in Irrevocable.
Cool.
Hypothetically, it would go in Irrevocable. Okay, now we get to the more obscure stuff. So this is the island of Stelt. How do we feel about Stelt? What we know about Stelt?
Stelt's fine. I mean, Kraka and Sidorak come from it, so that's both an upscale and a downscale.
It can't be better than Pleasant.
Wait, we forgot when we put Makuta in Irrevocable to move Kreka up.
Oh, you're
Right,
right.
well, he gets to move up 2 tiers.
He gets
he goes up
upscales
to
Makuta.
top of key revocable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kreka upscale.
Does it make Stealth an upscale also?
No.
Oh.
Kreka beats Stelt. It's a fact of life.
Kreka kills the Stealth.
Does Stelt
in that
go in
universe.
Pleasant or meh? Because I don't much care
I
about
think
Stelt. We
it's
don't get enough.
It's
It
meh.
doesn't really impact the story.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. This is Daxia, the island of the Dark Hunters. What do we think about Daxia?
We know virtually nothing
Yeah,
about
again,
it,
meh.
right?
Other than the fact that the Dark Hunters from there.
It is cool that the Dark Hunters have like a weird fortress thing and own a whole island, like clearly showing they
They're-
got a lot of power.
Yeah, they do.
Right, so the Shadowed One can kind of just rule it as his own, which I think is a cool concept. But as
but
an
it doesn't
island,
make the island itself.
no, it's just I don't hate it. It's pleasant. I'm like,
It's
oh yeah,
meh for me.
Daxia.
What do you think, Samuel?
Yeah, it's pleasant as a concept, meh, as in we just don't know much about it as a location to make it very interesting.
You know, at this point, I would agree it is meh. Later on, it gets a little cooler.
Okay.
This is Zia. I think
Zia,
Zia
I'd
is
say
Sentient
really
Mountain.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Zia.
Zia is just
It's terrifying and horrific and awful, and I love it.
so many fascinating things about
I just
Zia.
love the fact that the man guy took the Kanohi dragon there and thought, like, this will be okay.
This will not
Yeah.
backfire at
well,
all.
but
Sure,
not
this will
just
work
that,
out
just
fine.
that they thought this is a good place for it to go just already makes me so fascinated in what goes on Zia, right? It's like, what
Zia was probably paying them the like 10,000 Visorak battle rams if you bring the Konohi dragon here.
Thousands.
Dang it, I meant to put Visorak battle rams on here because they were going to go in irrevocable. Since I made that stupid joke, I can't think of currency in Bionicle without thinking of Visorak battle rams.
The widget joke.
widgets,
Yeah, I'm like, how many Visorak battle rams would this thing cost?
Thank you for our commenter who calculated all that out, by the way.
Yeah. But now we come on to Destral. This is the Makuta Island, which all we really know is that the Toahaga raided the heck out of it.
And Makuta has a fortress.
Yeah, Makuta has a fortress there, in which he lost.
I think for the same reason as the Dark... What was it called?
Daxia.
I think for the same reason as Daxia, it goes in Meh, which is like, we just don't know much about the actual location.
Yeah. Stelt goes to the bottom of Meh because, like... Bleh. No, Sidorak goes to the bottom of Meh.
Is that just a rock on the next one?
This is Protodermis. As a
Protodermis
concept.
is key
revocable.
revocable. It literally, you cannot separate Bionicle from Protodermis.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible.
Literally inseparable, but
Yeah.
just... I'm trying to say words about it. It's not coming out.
There was no need for the concept of Protodermis. It was not necessary.
There was literally no reason for it to exist.
Yeah. It's like when you add a bunch of ingredients to a dish and then it ends up tasting different but just as good as if you just done the simpler thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. I guess.
Well, and it's interesting because I've been thinking about it, and I think the reason... I think the thought process behind Protodermis, and I'd really like to hear from someone, you know, who worked on the actual story. Like, where did Protodermis come from? But I think what the
Someone
thought process...
get a hold of Faber for us,
Yeah,
please.
be like, why?
I think what the process must have been was when they were developing the City of Legends, right? This idea of, like, this legendary city that all these things are so different.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we have this thing called Protodermis already. Because energized Protodermis that the Toa Nuva fell into was just called Protodermis.
Yeah.
Point.
But they also mined for Protodermis on Mata Nui.
Right, exactly. And so I think the idea was, let's just make the whole city out of Protodermis, right? And then everything expanded from there. It evolved from there. And they're like, what if there's this whole life cycle of Protodermis where it starts as liquid and then gets refined into a solid and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they're like, what if there's this weird pseudo metal, like magical pseudo metal,
Right.
that we just made do whatever we want, but actually like give it rules and limitations, but not explain it well at all and make it super convoluted. And
Yeah.
I'm not mad at all. But yeah,
But I think that's where the thought process was. And you know what? I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either, and it also gives them great wiggle room for just like, it's Protodermis, man. You can do whatever once. It's like, if a Toa was actually that made out of this iron, then they wouldn't be able to survive a blast at this range. It's like, it's protodermic metal. Get wrecked, bozo. So yeah, it gives them a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
So, and it's also just fundamental. So I'm struggling to say I like it, but I agree with it. So now we come on to mask making as a concept, because before we got to Metru Nui, we didn't really know that masks were made, right? They just showed up. So what do you think of mask making as a concept?
Irrevocable.
I have to think about it
same
here.
as contemplating.
I think it probably is key revocable, because I don't know of another satisfying way you would be able to explain the masks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they were generated, that would be stupid, right? So it's actually cool that there's one, so like, the way I would do it is they were either generated or they're found, right? Like, they're artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, those are stupid, because one, if you break masks, then you're going to run out if they're limited, right? And then two, just having them be generated by like Mata Nui or someone is just dumb.
As we see with Matoran, it's kind of weird. And
it's not satisfying in any way, shape, or form. So I think having mask making is actually a really cool way to just explain how it's done, explain why they're handled with such care, and just the importance of them.
And
because it's a craft. Yeah.
And when they introduce it, it's important to one specific character, Vakama, and also a major plot element, crafting a specific mask.
Yes, exactly.
And it allows for so many cool lore explications about like different mask powers, why they had those mask powers, and it explains all of that, because like there's people who make the masks they do it for these reasons.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to go into weird specifics or hypotheticals or whatever. It's just like, yep, they made it in that style because that's where they lived and that's where they make masks. So I think it's cool for that reason and irrevocable for that reason. Kanoka discs. You're smiling like a little weirdo. What are you thinking?
Ouch. Like a little freak.
Like some sort of freak.
I'm thinking Kanoka are probably very cool for me.
Very cool.
Yeah. Because I like the concept. I like how it's executed. I like them closer to a hard magic system. It's fun to figure out how it all works. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it's necessary in relation to mask making
It's
either.
not necessary.
Right? Like, so, because I feel like that would be the largest defense is, oh, well, it's used for masks. And it's like, but it's not.
And there are masks made other ways.
Yeah, so
right?
if I just think that it is a very cool concept, and it is executed very well.
And adds a lot of depth and texture.
But the
and
only
whatever
thing
to the
that's
world.
really important to it is the great discs. Like, those are the only
And
ones
they
that
could have been
really,
any MacGuffin, right?
Yeah,
like
correct. Right? Anything that could have.
Because they never use the discs for their specific Kanoka powers. They only use them as like a Deus Ex Machina against the Morbizak and to make the Vahi.
Yeah. And there could have been other ways to do both of those.
Yeah.
So
Other ways that would not have detracted from the story.
Correct. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Toppa very cool because I just find them fascinating.
I do really
I
like
agree.
them.
I really like the discs.
Okay, Rotuka spinners, just generally as a concept of is it cool that people can just shoot energy based off of their specific person that has unique traits?
I think they fall into low very cool.
Yeah.
I think they're above pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I would put them in pleasant.
They don't inspire much in me, but also they're integral to a lot of stuff in Bionicle. Like, I always think about them when I'm looking at so many people because just having a way to express someone's specific ability and not just be like, oh, they have it and can use it on command makes a lot of sense to kind of format and standardize how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them for that, but emotionally, I'm not attached.
Yeah.
So I think very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But above Le Metru. No. Above Metru.
Yeah, there you go.
The domed universe. We know the universe is domed. Everything's in a bunch of domes connected by sea gates and maybe smaller little tunnels as we see out to Metru Nui and whatever. What do we think about that? Because it's such a bizarre and weird concept.
I don't know how to answer
I don't know
this.
how to answer this either.
Just think of it what you know. Metru Nui's in a dome. Zia is in a dome. Other stuff is in a dome. Daxia's in a dome.
I have completely neutral feelings about it.
Dang, bro. Turn into a robot.
No,
upon
it's,
seeing the
it's
dome.
true. I really do. Like,
is the story better and cooler because they can walk out through the top of essentially their entire island into Metru Nui? Is it cool that they can completely seal off their own island from the rest of the universe with just a few gates that connect the outside world? Because I think that's really cool.
that's cool.
Cool and unique concept that is played with, right? Makuda's shutting off the domes, he's isolating the people, and since you're just in one small bubble, they had the defenses of the pillars coming up because it's like, we just need to defend this.
Yeah.
Right? And since you are surrounded by rock, you can go omnidirectionally, like how they get to Metru Nui, or you can go down like where the archives are going and stuff starts leaking in and whatever. I think that's a cool concept.
I agree. I just, like, when I said I don't know how to think about this, I genuinely, that was
because
true.
for any of
not
our
because
viewers
I
who do not know, it gets much
much
more
more complicated
yes.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say very cool.
Yeah. We'll say very cool for now. Okay, now the concept of other sequential Toa teams, or consecutive Toa teams. Like Toa teams who are just out there doing their thing while other Toa teams are doing it.
I like this a lot.
I like it.
Actually.
It adds so much to the lore. And it doesn't make... I think some people complain about it because they think it makes the Toa Mata or the Toa Nuva less special. I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it actually indicates how special they are.
Yep.
That they're considered so powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they have a prefix of Nuva, right? You're a Toa Nuva. It is cool that you always have to add it on to their name because they are different. They are set apart. So yeah, I'm fine. I really like the concept of the other Toa because like, okay, now we can have so many more characters at a power level that we know and is consistent with the universe and with roles and whatever that you can play off of and shape to make your own specific and cool characters. And also in your mock building, it's like, yeah, I made a Toa because a billion of them could exist, right? But they're cool and heroic and do fun stuff and have crazy adventures. And then we get gems like Likan and the Toa Haga. So it's like, I think it's all upsides.
Yeah. I think in particular opening up the community and saying like, yeah, there are other Toa teams. So like you can make your own Toa too. Brilliant move.
Yeah. Is it irrevocable?
I think so. And this is the hard part is I think for sure it is irrevocable later on. Right now is ambiguous because we don't see coexisting Toa teams. Like besides the Toa Haga, we kind of can piece together that they must have been existing around the same time as the man guy.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't actually see them interact. We don't see those two stories, like we don't see them run in parallel at all. And so at that point, like at this point in the story, it's just kind of like it's a very cool concept, but it's not super important to the story yet.
And it does come with the potential downsides of like, well, if we're following normal Toa teams from now on, right? Like, why aren't other normal Toa teams filling this role? What is this team we're following? What's so special about them that other people couldn't step in, right?
Yeah.
But they do answer those questions in the story. It's like, well, why don't the Toa man guy solve anything? It's like, they all got killed, right? Why weren't the Toa Haga solving everything? It's like, they all got mutated into Rahaga. So the Toa Metru had to be there to save the day, right? The Toa Meta had to be there because there were no other Toa with them, right? So I think it introduces potential problems, but it hasn't caused any problems yet. So I'm fine. Or are we thinking very cool or irrevocable?
I think very cool. Very cool at this point.
Yeah, because it does just add the cool stuff. And that is the end of the list. There's no one else.
Well, it looks good to me.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay, so that is the full official list of the whole thing. Spectacular. Let's recheck our rankings. Kreka at top of key revocable.
Obviously.
That tracks.
Kreka
Makuta.
upscale.
Yeah, Kreka upscale. Makuta, Vakama, Metau, Onua, Akmu. I hate seeing him there. The Shadowed One, Metru Nui, Likan, Kitangu, Rudaka, Kilarak, Dark Hunters.
The way you pause, you're like, wait a minute.
Like, is this Keeler supposed to be here?
Can we please put Keeler back where it belongs?
Tell him it just picks up and drops it right back where it is.
Keeler upscale. No, I think Keeler pleasant.
Yeah.
I was genuinely confused. I'm like, wait. The archives, protodermis, and mask making.
Yeah.
Are we cool with all these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think when people look at that list, they would say, yeah, those sound like, legendary, iconic things about Bionicle.
Then they look at Toa Metru not in that, and they'd be like, are you guys stupid?
But we had our reasons. We had like 20 whole minutes
You
of
have
reasons.
to listen to the episode to understand. Actually, no. Just clip it and then rage bait everyone online and drive engagement. That's the strat.
Don't even listen. You know what? Just don't interact at all.
No. Interact, but don't comment. Wait, no. Comment and rage bait comment.
Yes.
But so it gets people who aren't already part of our audience to come in.
Interact,
if you've gotten
comment, share, but don't consume. In any meaningful way.
Correct. Yeah. So just hit the share button. So as soon as the video starts, pause. Hit the share button, send it to like Twitter and Instagram, and then throw on a rage bait title for it. It's like Dumbotrons think the Toa Metru are weaklings or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And then all the Twitter users will get riled up like a hornet of bees, a nest of bees, a nest of hornets, a bee of nest hornets. And then
a
that
nest
way,
of Vaki.
Yeah, and then that way we'll make $1 billion.
Right.
It's genius.
It's
What could go wrong?
If you've gotten this far, comment Toa Metru deserved better.
No, they have Nudra on their team. They deserve worse.
I like how Nuju Hordika is the only one in the tracks.
That is hilarious. I had not realized that.
Yep.
Because nothing else, I don't really hate most of the other stuff.
Yeah.
And for the Nuju lovers out there, we would like to defend
Say,
ourselves.
get wrecked.
Well, I was going to say, at least we didn't put regular Nuju in the tracks.
It's true.
I also like that regular Nuju's in meh, not because like we don't have strong feelings, but because we have such strong feelings both ways. It's
Yep.
like, ew. Yeah. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with this tier list.
I like it.
So before we move on, we do have a community section.
We do.
Oh, and also it is Thanksgiving, so make sure to give thanks. And also, we are going to be moving into the Ignition trilogy.
Finally.
Next episode. Voya Nui is all next week, so make sure to stay tuned for that because it's going to be heckin' amazing. And I've been reading through the books and doing the stuff, and I can't tell you how great it is. What a... It's good, folks. Trust me, it's good.
Ignition is like our secret sauce. It's like our...
It's the secret sauce of Bionicle.
It is our, like... It's our specialty. It is where we find our heart and soul most of the time.
Yeah, that no.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah.
Pohatu.
So now we move on to a community section, which will be going over some of the stuff, like submissions we received that took place in this time period, but we had already passed the episode it would have been relevant in. So we're just going to review all the stuff that we missed for this community section, right?
And there are some, like, just kind of Metru Nui specific things also.
Yeah.
You are now entering the community portion of the podcast. In this section, we showcase some of our favorite creations from talented and passionate members of the Bionicle fandom. So first up, we have a Vaki. What is a scratch build?
So yeah, this is one I found. This is a scratch build. It doesn't use any Bionicle parts. It's just a bunch of random junk this guy found and turned into a Vaki.
It's so cool.
It is.
This is by Riggermajig on Instagram. That is very, very cool.
When I first saw that, I'm like, that's a crazy good mock. But I'm like, that's not any Bionicle pieces. That's a comb as part of his arm.
It's funny, we've talked about how the Vaki kind of give elite vibes. This gives really major elite vibes.
Yeah.
Like the smooth shells. Or Xenomorph also.
Oh yeah, it is kind of Xenomorph-esque.
Yeah.
Because the head shape, I think, and like the head kind of hunch posture. Anyway, I just thought this was so
very cool.
Cool. Like, it looks like how the Vaki would look, right? Even has the bulky legs, which, like, yeah, gotta have that. I was just blown away. I've been waiting to use this forever. So, cool. Heckin' cool. I don't know what else to say.
That's really neat. I like it.
If we were rating this would be in the very cool tier.
All right. Next up, we have a Krahu and a Krenua on Reddit, and this is by Unpixeled. So first up, we'll take a look at the Krenua. What a unit.
Yeah, literally. An elite unit, the Kra...
So
wait, Krenua? Are you on Krenua or
I'm
Krahu?
on Krenua.
Okay.
Such a unit.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just... It kind of looks like Kreka almost, but like more agile, like very spring legs. I think it's cool. And it does look more like an elite unit, right? Like this thing will hunt you down and get you. Whereas the normal Krenua just kind of looks like a bulky guy.
I appreciate too that it kept the color scheme from the combiner model.
But used it more effectively.
Yeah.
Instead of whatever.
Looks like intentional color blocking rather than whatever they did with the combiner.
And the multiple disc launchers is so cool.
Yeah. I like this one.
This thing is like a gun platform.
All right. And then the other one's the Krahu. I like this one quite a lot.
It's like 8 trillion times better than the combiner model.
I know.
Yeah.
This one is like, if they had made this, then the Krahu wouldn't have been the forgotten brother of the Krenua.
Yeah.
Like, Greg would have featured this in a story. The little drones being like actual drone shaped. just sick.
It's very cool. I love the size of it too. The Vaki head looks tiny on it just because of how large it is.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's very impressive, very scary.
And I just love that the drones on the legs, like when they are acting as legs, it looks like, it just looks cool. Like it has the lights shining, right?
It looks like little jet engines.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's sick. And this thing, it looks like a swarm carrier, right? It's like low to the ground, but very wide. So it's just, how many times am I going to say this? It's just cool. Okay.
It's just cool.
But
It
also
just
going to show
works.
that the Vaki do have things to contribute to the story because we get these sick MOCs.
All right. Next up, we have a funny Akmu pic. And this is by Dane with no name on Instagram.
Who I believe we've looked at before. But this one, I like it. It's just a bunch of
Akmu being chased by Zadok.
Yeah, just a bunch of Zadok chasing Akmu, which I like to imagine was like a daily
Incredible.
occurrence in Metru.
I like it.
I'm just like, that's a
That's
great
so
idea
funny.
for a picture.
Those photos are really good.
Yeah, this guy does crazy good photos.
I just, like, while we were recording, I just noticed, I have noticed this before, but I hadn't thought about it in a while, that Akmu is one of the prominent sets that we have displayed in the studio.
We have Tahu Nuva, Lewa Nuva, Axon, and Brutaka's not here at the moment, but he.
And we have
normally
rebuilt
is here.
Pohatu.
Yeah.
Hafu, I guess, is probably who it is.
And Akmu.
You gotta have all the cool people.
All the cool.
All the cool people.
Pomatoran strongly over-representing here.
Okay, and so for the last set here, this is from our viewer Marrow Ghost, who we've looked at. They sent us a bunch of renders that they've done, and so we've taken a look at quite a few of them already on the show throughout several episodes, but these were sent probably right after we started doing the Metru Nui series, and so we wanted to go back and kind of cover them because they are very cool.
They're really cool.
So the premise was that they were using these for visualization for a Doranai Nui campaign that they were going to do. So a lot of the first images are landscapes or different locations in this alternate Metru Nui. So, but it has a lot of the same visual language and landmarks as the Metru Nui that we know. So first up, this is a render of
Metru, like construction area.
Yep. And you can see the Colosseum in the background, which is a beautiful touch.
And that's a running through all these pictures because the Colosseum can be seen like pretty much anywhere on Metru Nui because it's so heckin' tall.
Yeah.
The Tallosseum, they should call it.
I just love the way it's portrayed here. It's very aesthetically pleasing.
This is one of my favorite pics of theirs. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. Just the I think it's the 1920s girder aesthetic. I'm just like, oh, yeah.
I enjoy it. All right, next up, we have a Lima Torn, and this was one of the characters in the campaign. And so you get to kind of see Lee Metru through the windows there. And they told me there were some fun elements here. The speeder that he's working on is the speeder that Matau crashes in the Legends of Metru Nui. For those who played the Traveler's Tales Lego games, there's a mini kit in the background.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
Right there.
Oh,
Play the
I did
mini
not
kit
see
noise, Samuel.
I did it. No need to do it. I perfected it.
Yep, exactly. So I like this one. Again, very well executed.
Yeah. The mechanical dock arc arms are also cool, and I think a Bionicle thing that they would do, right?
Yeah.
Like I can see Matoran just
I could see New Peru especially loving that.
Bro made the Boxor, like nothing's out of bounds for him.
So for this one, you get to see a little bit of Kometru. This is the closest I think you see of the Colosseum too, which is cool. I like the masks.
Yeah, the masks are so sick because we know one of the gateways is shaped like Lycon's mask, so having the others also be like famous heroes, I think is a really cool concept.
And they were saying that you can see like the shoots down here, and they're yellow instead of green, and that's because they're heated.
Ooh.
That's so cool. I
It
love
is
that.
Very cool. Next up, we have presumably Metru.
It's very Metru, Naboo, Bespin looking aesthetic.
It is very Bespin-y. I do like it.
But it's also kind of Naboo because like very smooth, and it's got the statues and bits of greenery around.
I like the statue of Lee Khan.
Yeah,
Very
because he's the only one
nice
to carry that.
touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can love Lee Khan.
I like the background on this one too. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Next up, this is in Onu Metru. And something that I do recall about this one is that one of these guys, I'm guessing this one to the right is Tahuti.
Yeah, so in this one, it's just an archives exhibit. You can see the Coliseum out through the hangar door. Lots of cool masks, artifact, another mini kit. Actually.
Yes, there are actually several main kits, so I'll try to point them out when we go through.
That was the worst mini kit sound I ever made. Boing. There we go.
I like how the discs are glowing. That's cool.
Discs of
I love the
power.
composition of all of these. They're so like aesthetically
Well thought out.
pleasing.
Very nice, very nice.
Ooh, this one's cool.
Metru, this is the Great Forge.
Mask. Oh, look, there's the Vaki posted up like he was in the trailer.
Yeah, and you can see Takua in the background on this one.
You're
He's
right.
one of the
Yep.
Matoran.
He's the one in the last line, and
Yep.
he's downtrodden.
And of course,
Another mini kit.
a mini kit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Naturally.
Yeah, this is just a cool scene. I love the lighting on this one. Very sick.
Next up, we have again another Lee Metru, but this one's from the perspective, or like we get to see Matau.
Yeah. Matau with hands. Greg's
Yes.
not gonna like this one.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Having hands on Bionicle. This one's cool, and I like the look. You get a better look of Lee Metru, not through a bunch of windows, and so you can see the chutes. You can see the airships.
I like all the cars. It's very Meet the Robinsons almost.
Yeah, you're right. It does kind of look like that.
But again, I think this does show, like, Jacob, that Lay Metru is definitely a right call for one of the best Metrus.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. The design language of the buildings is interesting. It looks like coral.
It does look like coral, which you think would be a Metru thing.
Yeah.
But also going up towards the sky is a Lee Metru thing.
Speaking of Metru,
Ooh, good
the
segue.
next picture is of Nokama. And this one's cool because you get to see the underwater part of Metru.
Underwater
and you see
chutes.
the chutes, which I think is a very clever.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And
Very
then also,
smart.
I just love these little fish. They're
They're so
wonderful.
adorable. Quite
I
cool.
like Nokama's mask on that one too.
I like the little snake serpent eel thing coming out of the
sticking
rock.
out. It's a little lamprey.
Yep.
No mini kits though. Curious.
Yeah, no main kits. Unless we're blind. We may just be blind.
May be blind.
We could really commiserate with our viewers then.
Yeah.
And then we have another Metru.
Mhm.
This one you get another very clear view of the Colosseum with Lee Khan's mask.
And I
as one
love
of the entrances.
This knowledge tower design.
The knowledge tower design is very cool.
Being like
I love how-
semi-transparent and
yeah,
stuff.
it just looks really nice.
Yeah. It's so
again,
cool.
you see the yellow chutes, which is quite cool. And in the distance, it looks like maybe there's a green chute, which is going off to a different. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
probably
because they're hitting
it's
the
coming out
Coliseum and it's going to
Coliseum.
the different.
Yeah.
That's cool attention to detail.
Yep, very nice.
Ooh. This next one has a mini kit
So,
in it. I see the mini kit.
I really like this one. I think that it's kind of a fun picture, and yes, the mini kit is very prominent, but this one's really easy to read. I like the disassembled Vaki.
Yeah, it's just like
absolutely
he
decimated.
got torn apart.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah, cool. Ooh.
Another Metru
Yeah.
with a
Thomas,
very
is this changing your
imposing,
opinion of Metru?
A little bit, maybe.
a very imposing Lee Khan in the background.
Yeah, Lee Khan's like, you better win this fight, Vakama. It's just a bunch of fireflies, Vakama.
Or else Vakama.
What are these? Aren't they the
These are fire
salamanders?
salamanders.
Fire
yeah.
salamanders. That's
But
what
one
they
of them is eating a mini kit, which is very disturbing to me. to my Lego sensibilities.
They can't be big.
Yeah, I just love the framing of this shot. So cool.
It's really
The
cool.
Tom Metru pics are especially astounding to me.
Yeah.
And the lava looks nice.
Nice.
Larva.
All right, and then we have one of Winua, and this one reminds me so much of Clutch
I was
Powers.
going to say, it looks like he's going into the Clutch Powers mine.
Yeah, I can't get it out of my head.
One of
I
these
like
crystals
how-
can power
Are
the
there
city for a whole
canonically-
year.
Exactly.
Are there canonically multicolored crystals in Onu Metru?
I mean, I don't, yeah.
Like, are
There's
the
no
glow,
reason not to.
Yeah, fair enough.
the glowstones different colors?
And there are kind of like avatar crystal caves that we see in some of the stuff, so I don't see why they couldn't be multicolored crystal caves.
Makuta has like a monopoly on the green glowstones.
I do like that once again you can see the Colosseum just barely out
Yep.
of the cave.
I like that you can see the Colosseum from everywhere. See, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying about the Colosseum. Like it has that
Yeah,
presence.
it's the capstone, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. I'm more right than you, Jacob, so I get wrecked.
I like
Excuse
how
me.
in this one, I like how the crystals are designed.
Mhm,
Like they're
mhm.
not just the piece; they're like actually built.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that's really cool.
Yeah. All right, and next we're going to start.
Why'd you say that
with-
like Cartman?
Next.
Probably broke
that
my
was
mic.
Sans from Undertale. I mean, that's
All right, the last few here
That was
are
Wario.
Toa Hordica.
They sound the same.
Ooh.
So good.
So I love this one. This is what I was mentioning earlier. How Onua clearly has the boulder that he's going to use to smash Pooks.
Pooks is getting toasted.
Poor Pooks.
I love the small spear and Toa or Rotuka shield. I think that's super cool for the Rahaga to have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it looks really nice, and I think we looked at maybe one of these before.
I think we
or
did.
I
we
can't
looked at
remember.
one
Yeah,
of them.
but they have like the little helicopter wings on the end or on their back. And I just like the general design of the Hordica. They're a little bit more bestial, especially the foot design.
I like
really
the foot
like
design
the
and the
foot design.
tail. Just gives them, yeah. I like making him look more like a rock raptor. It's a good thing to do.
Next up, we have a Vakama
Mhm.
and Vakama and Norik. Again, same thing. The foot design looks great. And yeah, you have it.
the spinner popping up his back like the movie,
Yep.
which I always like. I think that's a cool detail. And the unignited blazer claw.
That's cool. I did
Mhm.
not notice
That
that,
is
the first time I
interesting.
looked at these.
Oh.
Norik's looking good as usual.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Rose got the sauce.
Here we have Winua.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? And Bomanga. And
He looks sick with that metallic
yeah, I was
green
gonna say
color
the metallic
scheme.
green looks cool on Bomanga.
Yeah, shiny boy.
Very, very nice.
Look at those calves. Like
Have you
What
seen
a
his
thick
Toa form?
boy.
this guy walks up and down mountains like it's nobody's business.
Have you seen his Toa form? He uses Metru torsos for his lower legs.
Sisyphus is the one who pushes the boulder up the hill.
Yeah.
Bomanga
Sisyphean
just is
calves.
walking along next to him. He's like, "You can do it, you can do it," and then he rolls it back down. He's like, "Ah, bummer. I guess I'm gonna have to go up the hill with you again. You can do it. You can do it."
No. Sisyphus is going up the hill and Bomonga's like on your left.
Now Sisyphus is going up the hill and Onawa
Onua's-
steals
No,
the
I
boulder
was
and
just
throws
gonna
it at
say,
Pooks.
Onawa just pops out of nowhere. He's like, "Is that a boulder?"
Is
Sisyphus is
for me?
Sisyphus is rolling the boulder up and Pohatu just kicks it.
He's like right at the pinnacle, and Pohatu just boom all the way down. It doesn't even roll down; it goes straight to the bottom perfectly.
Are you implying that the Bionicle universe exists in the same continuity as Tartarus?
We're
Yes.
implying that Pohatu is Hades and is enforcing
okay.
the punishment
Gotcha.
I
upon
was gonna
Sisyphus.
say that Pohatu is transcendent, so he can just he can go into any universe he wants to, because basically what happens is, using the Mask of Speed, he just vibrates through anything he wants to, and so he breaks universal barriers.
I was gonna say
Universal.
he uses his amazing charm to convince the great beings to just let him go wherever the heck he wants.
that too. See, he has multiple ways to do it.
Bro's busted out the wazoo.
The last one is Kitongu, and I really like this one, especially because of the Matoran pods.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like him gripping the Matoran pod like he's like palming a basketball
Yeah.
or whatever.
I also just like the head. It's
Mhm.
not so bizarre
Weird.
looking. Like it looks.
I like my mushroom heads. Okay.
Yeah. It just looks nice to me. And his staff, his tool with
Yeah.
the little ball at the end and like the leather handle is very nice. But something that's cool on the Matoran pods, they have the discs of the Matoran that are trapped inside.
Tell me
that.
Makuta planned out the pods. He's like, I know exactly who's going in which pods.
Was
you,
that a feature?
Akru, you're going in this pod.
Maybe
Was that a feature on the actual real Matoran pods?
I don't think so.
No.
But that would be cool. I mean, it'd be a cool little thing to have.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be he pre-planned it, but it's a thing that just detects.
Maybe it just detects. Yeah. It's like, yep. Make sure you're opening the right Matoran.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
I believe that concludes all
Man,
of the renders
props
from.
to Mario Ghost
Yeah.
for all the hard work. I mean,
That's a crazy amount of pictures.
yeah, and they're all just really high quality, like really good.
And all the newly designed pieces and ways they're laid
Mhm.
out and whatever, were very, very cool.
Okay, so I lied when I said that was going to be the last group. We actually have 2 more things to show you. A while ago, Jacob asked if you guys could come up with ideas for the mini Vizrak for Rotuka spinners, and several of you submitted responses to that. And so we just wanted to show a couple of those. The first one is by Patrick, and you can see here that he did a very interesting technique, which is funny because, well, you'll see why it's funny in a moment here, but it's very clever. And so it uses the pin that goes into the back of the Vizrak, right? And then you're putting in the little angled, I don't know what you call it, like the Spider-Man piece or whatever it be. And then you're adding the disc on top of that, so you get the forward projection. And so it looks quite effective and is very smart. And so the reason I said that's funny is because the other one we received used the exact same technique, only using a clear one of those bracket pieces instead of the dark or the light gray like it is in this picture. The second one was submitted by Chris and his brother Michael, and they used the Mercedes logo as the Rotuka. So both very clever, very effective ways to do Rotuka, and it's funny and interesting to me that they both end up using the same sort of technique to get that projected look. So good job to both of you guys, and thank you for submitting those.
Excellent
All right,
work.
so that concludes the community section-ish. We have
part of the new Q&A section. We have one question that has not been answered yet. And that question is, Ask Bonkle, hello Barraki, when will you have Joe Rohan on the show? He's been talking about it on his show.
Who is this by?
So is Joe Rohan related to Joe Gondor? Or perhaps
That's who I was
Joe
wondering.
Camel.
Where was Joe? No, wait.
Where
that
was
doesn't
Joe
work.
in the?
The Gondor called for aid, and Joe Rohan will answer.
No, but for when we'll have Joe Rogan on, it'll be next week. We already got him booked.
Solid.
He loves Voyanui, and he's like, I can't wait to be on that episode. It's one of
Turns
his-
out we get him on, and it's actually Joe Rogan.
Bro just has like
We're done
12
messed
feet
up.
of hair.
Yeah, exactly.
We done messed up.
No wonder you're so easy to book and didn't even ask for a fee. But true answer is we're never going to have Joe Rogan on the show.
Unless Joe Rogan contacts us, there's no way on earth we're gonna have Joe
Or
Rogan
unless
on
there's
this
actually
show.
a person named Joe Rohan that they were talking about.
That's possible.
True. Or if someone else knows Joe Rogan and is able to connect us to Joe Rogan, then sure, well, why not? We'll ask him.
We just go on the show and explain all of Bionicle to him.
Yeah. I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah. We'll be like, there's these guys called Paraka, and they go, yo, yo, and he's hooked from day one.
Dang.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much all we have
Yep.
for this episode. A
But
nice
if you
long
have
one for
questions,
you.
make sure to ask Bonkle and then just type your question. We'll see it. We see everything.
Make sure you put hashtag Ask Bonkle or
Yeah.
Ask Bionicle, and we will answer your
or
questions.
hashtag question or anything that catches our attention.
Yeah. Preferably hashtag Bonkle. It's just easier.
Yeah.
And it's funnier to type as well.
It is really funny to
Bonkle.
type.
It's like saying Bomanga or Pooks or Tahuti.
Tahuti.
Anyway, that concludes our show. Tune in next time. Voya Nui, guys. The Ignition Trilogy. It's starting.
It's finally here.
We're
The whole
igniting
reason
the
we
Ignition
made
Trilogy.
this podcast.
Oh, get hyped. Anyway, good night, Metru Nui. This brings us to the end of today's podcast. If you enjoyed the discussion, please follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you like to watch instead of listen, you can also find us on YouTube. The Barraki Talk Show is only made possible thanks to viewers like you. Thank you. We are live, folks, here in the Barraki Talk studio.
The Barraki.
Did you just call it the Barraki Talk Studio?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that episode where you gave Clay all that flack for calling it the Barraki Talk without the show part?
I didn't call it the Barraki Talk.
You could fix it by just saying the Barraki Talk Studio Show.
I was gonna say that, but that sounds
dumb.
dumb.
It does sound really stupid.
It sounds key dumb.
But at least you would be.
Kitangu's not
at
dumb. It
least
never
you would
was.
be consistent.
Oh.
See,
got me
Thomas,
there.
it's not being dumb like Kitangu. It's being dumb in reference to Kitangu.
Wait, no. Kitangu is dumb in the traditional sense of that he cannot speak.
He does not speak
a
very
normal.
much,
Yeah. That doesn't really. I don't think that's the definition of dumb.
I was going to say, that means that everybody else who does not speak English, according to us, would be dumb.
Maybe I am dumb in the classical definition of that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I am just stupid, not key stupid, just normal. Ox stupid. Trying to work Akmu into stupid. It's not working. I got nothing.
No.
I don't think you can.
Anyway, who wants to read the intro?
I'll read it.
I'll be like Jacob. Metru Nui was Bionicle's big step, just because I was like, I'll read the intro one time, and then you just read it.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Yeah.
We don't.
How
forgive
many
him.
times shall I forgive my brother?
17
Zero
times 1.
0. 17 times 1.
How many times did Thok forgive Hakan? Huh? Zero. Exactly.
But how many times did they put aside their differences to try and for mutual benefit? It's like
Also
twice.
0.
No, they did it like twice, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. We haven't even gotten to those
No.
characters yet.
Who's
We don't even
Thok
know
and
who those are.
Hakan?
I don't know. Honestly.
That's some sort of rapper? Is that like
Hakan.
Ice Spice? Or what all the kids say?
SZA.
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 I don't know who that
You don't know
is.
who SZA is?
SZA.
Styled as SZA.
SZA.
That's how that's pronounced?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not Za, if that's what you thought
We know
it was.
how my pronunciations
Saw.
are, guys.
Yeah, we know.
I know Dua Lipa. That's the highest level of pronunciation I go for pop artists.
Wow.
Okay.
Good for
Add that
you.
in ZZ Top. But that one's pretty easy.
But
Well,
for
actually,
the
they
benefit of
prefer
our
to be called
Canadian
ZZ
friends,
Top,
it would be
so-
ZZ Top.
You know.
I'm just gonna delete all this. There's
No, it's so good.
Save it at least for posterity's
For
sake. It doesn't have to
posterity.
be in the last.
Okay.
All right,
It
I'll
could
read
go
the
into the
intro now.
bloopers.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the intro.
For real, I'd like to thank Greg F. Farshty.
Gregory F. Farshty.
Lowercase Gregory F. Farshty, though. So all the other people on the
I
team
think
of
his
Greg.
name is actually Gregory Greg Farshty, where the middle one is the lowercase g.
Oh. Really, I'd like to thank Say Hapka, though.
Say
Say Hapka. Here.
In southern Lithuania.
In southern Lithuania, y'all.
Say Hapka.
We got that Lithuanian drawl.
Famous Lithuanian drawl.
I'm going through withdrawals, folks. Lithuanian withdrawals.
Our fans
You
are going
might
to be
call
so
them
mad at us.
withdrawals.
Watch, our Spotify analytics are going to bump up to like 80% Lithuanian viewers.
If you're from Lithuania, let us know so we can come to your house
Because we also live in
and eat
Lithuania.
your cookies.
And have Thanksgiving with you on the beach.
Yeah.
You're invited, of course.
Mhm.
Bring the cookies, please. Bring the cookies. We're not going to tell you which beach. Lithuanians know.
The East Beach.
The East. There's
East
only
Beach,
one
yeah.
East Coast. Duh.
Bruh. What are you, stupid?
Real Lithuanians know which beach we're talking about.
Anyway.
Well, yeah. This episode's going to be a little bit different than our last recap episode.
Correct.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Because we're trying something new. Well, it's actually something old, but something new for us.
We're laying
not
new
really.
foundations on top of really old foundations. It's genius.
Really
Nothing
old
can go
foundation
wrong.
from earlier this year.
Well, no, I meant tier list as the
Oh,
old
I see.
foundation, but this
Which is
tier
ironic since it's like building up. Cake.
I don't really think they're built. I don't think they rest upon each other. I think they just kind of
We
exist.
build on
I
each
think
other.
it's looking down like how an aerial view of a racetrack is. I think that's what it is. It's not like a tower.
Fair enough.
If the Tower of Babel taught me anything, it's don't stack rocks.
What?
I think that's pretty funny because, like, later in the Bible, God commands them to make an Ebenezer, which is a stack of rocks.
You got me
So
there.
true.
Call me Ebenezer Scrooge.
Not for at least another
Thomas,
month.
it's not our
Because I got
Christmas
stacks
episode
of
yet.
cash.
Yeah, right. And you haven't shared those stacks of cash with the rest of us. Why?
Did you earn these stacks of cash, Jacob?
Where did you earn them?
I didn't say I earned them.
Oh,
I'm wondering if
never
you
mind.
did.
I don't want your cash.
Is this
Keep
where
your
I got
cash. Keep your blood money. Riding Ottawa fans and Akmu fans.
Anyway,
This is off to a great start.
This is the most box store we've ever
none of
been.
this is usable. This is gonna be the longest bloopers of all. The bloopers are gonna be half the episode.